Okay, I've got a cold one.
Oh,
Oh,
I feel like I talked about this a little too much, considering I want to talk about it more on the podcast. Sorry about that. So you're gonna have to hear more of this.
it's gonna happen. Well, I mean, it entirely depends on what we end up talking about, because I'm gonna make sure we're talking about the AdMech stuff for at least more than 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, we
Oh
will.
my god, that AdMech stuff is so. Speaking of which, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 14. Yeah, 14. I had to remember because I wasn't here last week.
Last week is alright. Last week is
13,
alright.
13 is a cursed number, so it never happened, so it's fine.
I was actually. I let my rat down.
Yeah, so
Well, no. The rat's got in the system, right? And they fucked
Yeah.
everything.
fucking the rat catcher, the rat handler's
the
over
rat.
here.
I was saying that it if John wasn't able to leave it be there, it would just be the rat cast of me and Alex.
I mean,
But
that's content. That's what the Lumineth video is just gonna be. It's like, nah, don't play Lumineth,
No.
play rats.
No, play Lumineth.
Play Lumineth as rats. Rataneth. Lumarats.
I don't know.
Lumineth rat lords.
I'll briefly go over my lists in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get to the Lumineth stuff. We're gonna cover the news stuff anyway. First off, we're gonna cover the news. We're gonna have a discussion about those, so I can cut those over to bits, and then we're gonna have a preliminary chat about Lumineth stuff prior to the video being made. Don't worry, everyone. Your how-to is coming, and probably we'll talk a lot more about the textbook as well separately. They are coming. It just takes time.
Yeah, busy, but also like it took me about 4 or 5 days to make a list for Lumineth. So
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I guess that's a good sign,
oh, it's a good sign
because
There's
that means
so
there's just
fun.
options.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zell, how you doing? I will say as well, preemptive announcement that we are officially collaborating with the Honest Wargamer on Saturday, which I don't know if we're doing it live yet. I'm assuming no. I think we're just going to do a recording.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll just keep it to a recording, but that's going to be a really interesting video coming out of that.
Mhm.
So big thanks to them for actually responding to my creepy tweets. Because it was just eyes emoji, what a collab, yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that weird.
I think the big brain thing to do, right, would be we'll make it a video, but we'll do a premiere on Twitch or something.
Yes, we will do a premiere. I think that's a good idea.
That's always good.
Yeah, we'll do a premiere for the video. It should be a great time, but we're doing that on Saturday, so I'm excited. Especially because I still need to make my Eldar list, and because I have no fucking clue.
Eldar list is so much nicer than doing 1,000 Suns list.
Yeah,
Thousand Suns. I would rather do Thousand Suns.
All right, try to do 1,000 Suns list without the codex and without 1d4.
I don't know. 1d4 time's gone.
It's just gone.
Yeah, no, it's not. Hang on, is it up?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Are we gonna have a moment of silence?
No, it's back. It's back. Yeah.
Back, or is it like a rolled back version with half the shit on it?
Well, I mean, it's here. Like before, we couldn't even access it. Oh,
Okay,
all the 8th edition. Oh no, hang on. And
It was-
9th edition tactics.
Oh, it wasn't working yesterday. It's working today.
It was gone last night.
Yeah. Okay. So this is breaking news. It's back. To be fair, I've just been using Wahapedia, which has been quite nice actually, just to learn the rules flat out.
Yeah, what happened just right
Because I've been may or may not have been trying to make Gene Stealer cult lists.
I love Gene
Oh,
Stealer
yeah.
Cult.
I really want Gene Stealer. I think I'm actually going to buy Gene Stealer cults.
Okay,
Especially
wait,
because
no,
in the
this is
rumor
it.
engine, they have a model from a rumor engine. And I'm like, yeah!
Do you feel like this on Saturday instead of me? I don't fucking want to do it.
What did I have? Eldar. No, because
Yeah,
you know how
I
Eldar
can-
works.
I don't know. I'll like you can give me something else, right?
I'll swap you for the Eldar, and then Alex can have the Gene Stealer Cult.
But that means Alex still gets Gene Stealer. It's like, oh, yeah, we could swap. That's fine. Alex still gets Gene Stealer cults. Fuck him.
We wanted
It's
it.
fine.
Oh,
No,
we're sticking to what we got.
no.
We're all outside our comfort zones here. That's the point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So,
I know. I do like Gene's the Cult thematically.
oh no, actually, here's a legitimate question. Why can't you brood brother with Admech?
Because Admech aren't made of flesh and they're robots, so
But-
they can't be
get picked up.
Tyranids.
Oh no, to be
Yeah.
fair, Skitari do have
Yeah.
fleshy bits.
Right, they don't have free will.
They do. They
They
do
don't.
have free will.
Yeah, but it can be taken away from them.
Very quickly it can, yes.
You
but-
would need the tech priest to be a genius.
Alright.
Yeah, but that would be fucking cool though.
Question: if you have a chip in your head that can take control of you at someone else's will,
Yeah.
when that chip is turned off, do you have free will?
Yes.
No, you don't, because they can just turn the chip on if they don't like what you're doing, and they can tell you to do something else.
But that's why you infiltrated the higher level, you see.
No, because the thing is, as soon as they make you into an ad,
So that you
as
can
soon as-
have more implants that you go up, and then you have more people below you, and
It's just a pyramid scheme. It's just
Yeah,
a
it
really
is,
big
yes.
pyramid scheme. But
well,
it's
as
just
soon
like,
as-
okay, I just like the idea of the bladed cog specifically, because that's their entire shtick, is to kind of that merging of Gene Stealer and weird
Yes,
mining
okay.
technology. So I would
I
think
will say,
potentially AdMech would fit in there and it'd be really cool.
I'd say it kind of makes sense for them to steal AdMech stuff, and that would be the reason.
Oh,
But,
give them
like-
fucking Cognis weapons, that'd be funny.
Right, but the idea of a AdMech, someone who like,
A Skitari
Like-
Gene Stealer cultist.
I don't think that makes sense because they wouldn't like the AdMech. As soon as the AdMech goes to go, I'm gonna make this person into a Skitari. They'd go, he's not human, right? They would know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, to be fair,
No. But
I'm
like,
just thinking as well, because how the Dark Mechanicum works, they don't have Skitari, do they?
They do. They're the same as Mechanicus.
Oh, right, okay, so
No.
yeah, because that's what I was thinking, like, what are their foot troops?
Dark Mechanicus ranges from Chaos Cultists to actual AdMech that are just like alien tech.
Yeah. But this is the thing, it's like,
yeah.
I thought is like, you know what, I think that they could if they could somehow, I think it's justifiable, probably, and I think it would be really cool for your Brood Brothers to be able to like, yeah, they'd stick a couple bad mechs in there. You can't stick fucking Castellan robots in there. Let's not get crazy. But you could probably swap in
You
some.
could have. Sorry,
You could have
Dark
Cataphrons.
Mechanicus, though.
You could have Cataphrons.
Dark Mechanicus would have those robots, but they'd be sentient.
Oh yes, that's true. Oh, I don't want
Yeah.
a sentient Castellan robot is fucking terrifying.
I want
Is
Like
it
Dark-
trees?
Dark Mechanicus. There's been a few occasions where they've made it feel like that they might be soon,
Yeah,
and they just never are. And it's so
No.
upsetting.
it's
Like,
sad.
like, if it's not the next big faction that comes out, I don't fucking care. GW.
If we
can
get
begin.
an actual interesting
Yeah,
Xenos
standard.
faction, that'd be great.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be happy with that
That's the thing that's nice of Stigma, I guess. Like, why it's kind of an exciting game, really. is
because
that-
there's a, like anything is possible.
yeah, there's new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
There's new armies, and like the armies that you can play have a fresh range that was built for the game.
It's the whole problem of 40k being what's it? It's
An old
being
game.
yeah, it's an old game and it's a giant amorphous blob with all
Like-
these weird tentacles on it, and you just have to deal with it.
I do think they have figured it out.
They've
roughly
gotten
now.
better. Gotten way
Like,
better.
I guess it's like it's one of the things I find weird though. It's like things when I see like, oh, look at these new Beast Boys for Orc. I'm just like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy Orcs are getting things, right?
They
but-
don't look. They don't look 40k though, do they?
They I think that's the paint. That's just the paint job. That's just
To be
the
fair,
paint
the
job.
newer
Yeah.
one they showed off, which I think you guys looked at it last week, because it
Maybe,
was the
yeah.
one with the rocket on his spear, and the other
Yeah.
one had like the Gretchen had a gun, and like there was more like cyborgy stuff on the actual
Mhm.
squig itself. Like that, if they showed us that first, I don't think there would have been any complaints.
Oh, it wasn't really a complaint. No one's
complaining.
complaining about it. It's fine. It's just the paint job made it feel a little bit too stigma-y, which
Mm.
is weird.
It's too clean, yeah.
What I was gonna say right now though is just like I'm happy they're getting stuff, but I don't feel like Orcs need anything. They're not
Mm.
like I would much
a big release.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
They got all the buggies.
It's hard for me to like. It's definitely like a bit of jealousy. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, Orcs are getting something new. Let me just go and look at these ranges over here. Okay, cool. Resin models, as far as the eye can see.
Mm.
They need to either focus, like the only two things I would really care about for 40k at the moment that I want to see them do
Mhm.
is replace resin models.
Yes,
Get rid of them.
I think
Cool.
they're doing that more and more.
Cool.
well, the thing is,
Oh,
they're
you-
only doing it when they're updating ranges as a whole.
True.
Apart
Once you've
from
done that,
banshees.
yeah, and Incubi. Once you've done that,
Mm.
Yeah.
make a new army. I don't. I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
all non-forge builds. Yeah,
anything
yeah,
that's
fine
fine
cash
cash
is
should just be gone. And
Once
I think
they've done
that's
that-
especially prevalent when you've got things like especially the Eldar stuff and the Drukhari stuff. Like I was like, oh yeah, we got, plastic incubi and plastic banshees, great. But what about all this other shit, Like especially if you're looking at craftable Eldar, they are especially fucked.
Yeah, they're the worst.
That is like the main point of them is resin models, and they're
Oh.
bad.
It's fucking
Yeah, and like it's just like
it's
I
just
don't know.
sad.
It's just like, Orcs getting some beast stuff, and I'm just like, it's just like, why are you focusing on that? Like, you're literally
The
giving like,
orcs,
it's boring. I would much prefer to see new factions. I want to like update the current ones with by refreshing the ranges, not by bringing new units out because we don't need that bloat. There's already loads of units.
The only
Yeah.
exception to this is Sisters. The
Sisters needed it though.
Sisters are still a new army. They're still
They're in the Lumineth honeymoon period.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they're
when AdMech got
fucking
more
great.
stuff, that was fine because AdMech's been lacking stuff for how long?
Yeah,
They released their range.
the AdMech stuff they released was great. Like all of that stuff is good, and then now all we're getting is actually a character. But that's all we need. It's like, we get an extra character. Sick. That's what I haven't got a fucking extra tech priest, and most likely I can replace having to use Daedalus trying to proxy Daedalus in, because the only way you could have got him was from fucking Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah.
And he was a busted unit. He was like, oh, if you want to be competitive, you have him. So you have to buy the box for Blackstone Fortress or pay 50 fucking quid from someone selling him secondhand.
The box he came in was like 40 quid anyway. It was an
I thought it was
expensive set. It wasn't a bit
I thought it was the main box.
character expansion set thing they did.
But also
Wasn't
trying to find that though. That just would disappeared.
Oh, you could.
You can probably get it now. Yeah.
I was
but-
say when he was new, it was hard to get.
Oh, yeah.
Like I bought what's his name, Thaddeus the Purifier for like 3 quid, and that's a hell of a priest.
Not easy out of a priest. But the whole thing was like,
Plastic priest model.
+1 to hit, and you just pick something within 24, and everyone who's shooting it gets +1 to hit. Like,
Oh no, he was stupid.
he was stupid broken. Like, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad at least that model will not probably have rules.
Look, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, at least GW didn't go, oh, we're gonna release this new faction. Here's 3 named characters. Cool. New edition. Sorry. What? No, they don't exist.
No, it's fine.
They simply do not exist.
Sorry, what do you mean Death Cult elves? You want Death Cult Anari elves? Never
Nah.
mind.
Nah, what are you on about?
Painful.
To be fair, because this is going to be the duality of this, is that GW have been doing a great job in some respects, and they are also dropping the ball. Because we were talking about this before the podcast, but obviously, probably best to say it on, so we've got it cut as well. It's like, oh yeah, they've been doing great. All the codexes they've been doing are really well done, super fluffy, and they are fucking amazing. Right, the Drukhari book codex, after we did the review, absolutely top tier. So really well done. Oh, you wanted Curse City?
It's so weird.
Yeah, that was their response. Like, it's so frustrating because they have not got protect. It's the same thing that happened with all those special Horus Heresy books for the Siege of Terra. They did those big, fancy leather ones, and they wouldn't, like we said, like, these are a limited run. These will not exist again, and they have got no protection, and they are not dealing with scalpers.
I think it's like, I don't think you can deal with scalpers anymore.
You can't, no.
You can't. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been such an issue with consoles. You literally,
True.
there's almost nothing you can do. And at the end of the day, I know what people don't like GW's approach to the online thing, and like not releasing it online again for Curse City. It's the only way you can deal with scalpers at the moment. Basically,
I feel like
yeah.
if they don't, because you made the suggestion, I was like, it'll probably disappear. It'll come back in 4 to 5 months.
yeah,
and I think
pre-order for it.
Yeah, and I think if that's the case, it's okay, so it's just a Kickstarter then at that point.
No, a Kickstarter what they did with Indomitus. They're literally avoiding that. What they did. So, the thing is, it's again they've done this before differently. Indomitus sold out online massively, and they were, we'll do a made for order. That will fix it. Was a complete disaster.
Yeah.
Because as soon as people left their house to have a look and see if they could buy it when it released,
The shops just
huge
had
stock,
them, yeah.
absolutely massive stock everywhere. They don't want that to happen again because there's still massive stock everywhere.
And I mean, at
fucking
least,
doctors. It's
like,
not
yes,
gone.
the nice thing is, at least, is that we've got Warhammer stores opening up in England and Wales, at least. But then when you've got, it's, the counterpoint to that is at least any
Oh, yeah.
local game store that had the ability to sell online at any point will have no stock because it's on, like, you can buy it. You could have bought it online and it's just gone. If it's if it's a place like you can only go to, you basically have to brave the wasteland that is current COVID UK to be able to maybe buy one.
I think if you want one that bad, surely I don't think
That's
it's hard.
waste.
Like,
That'll be a waste to get it.
you could call Firestorm up and ask them if they're gonna get more stocking. They will probably know. They'll have some idea, and they'll probably try and reserve one for you. Like,
Probably, yeah.
it's GW is just basically going, cool. We're gonna keep this to stores because otherwise it's gonna be scalped.
Yeah, it's GW doing the GW thing and not communicating properly.
Yeah, have they communicated it well? No.
No.
Sure,
Because I want to point out, it's not even a proper tweet. It was a response to someone tweeting off of an article.
Yeah. It's the community team trying to clean things up.
If they'd just been like, look, guys, we're doing fine. We're fucking Games Workshop, right?
Have you seen our stock price right now? It's fucking through the roof.
Go and buy from your local game stores because we're doing all right in this pandemic times.
Yeah.
That's such a better move than just.
It's still coming back.
We've sold ours. Go get it from somewhere else.
Go get it.
Are you insane?
It feels like they're challenging us, you know? It's
it's bad communication, and I guess it's possible that isn't any of what I've said, right? But that doesn't make any fucking sense at the end of the day. It doesn't even make sense for them. They want your money. What they're doing is going, ooh, maybe we won't have money from you, right? They're not doing it.
They just hate money, I guess.
Yeah, they're not allergic to money. They're not doing it because they want to do it. They're doing it because they literally they've got a big
it's a big problem and they don't have an answer for it yet.
No one does. The scalpers completely fucked everything.
I don't necessarily think it's even the scalp. Like, at this point, it could be. There's so many issues going on in terms of it took me at this current point, right? Just side note, kind of linking to this. It's taken me over a month to get my washing machine looked at and fixed, and it's not even fixed yet because we have to wait another 2 weeks for another part. Timelines and the process of just trying to get a hold of anything has just slowed down to a monumental crawl unless you are buying so much in bulk. Like, unless you are buying fucking lumber. And even then, you have to buy a fuck ton of a product. Like, that's the only way you're getting anything on time.
Anybody on the planet has to know exactly what they want to paint, and they have to know exactly how much spray they're going to use. Because once they run out, it's gone. It is
a 50-50 chance of whether you can find it or whether you have to wait 3 weeks for it to reappear again. Which is, to be fair, why I was actually very surprised that I managed to order my paint set that I did because of depression spending. But we'll get on to that. That's a separate conversation. But it's the only advice we can give, and I think it's the only thing that, especially when it comes to GW, you've just got to wait. Because they're not going to fucking tell us.
Literally, honestly, it's not any different to it being out of stock on the website for 4 months. Which is what.
With just a picture that just says, just unavailable.
Soon, TM. Check every day. We'll email you. No. They'll just take it off the store because it's not coming back soon. Don't get your fucking hopes up, right? Like, simple as.
We've had. What was it? There was a set of models that disappeared from the shop, and people started panicking. Like, oh, they're getting rid of Firstborn. Like, they're getting rid of the models. Like, no, they just reappeared a week and a half later because they had no stock for it.
They just reboxed them.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it was when 9th. Was transitioning and they were reboxing everything. It's like, you can't buy them.
Are this unit going to be the codex? It's people being very overzealous about it because they want the thing and they have the money to buy the thing. But at the same time, we will say this now, and I'm going to clip this for sake. Do not fucking harass the community team, right? They have no control over this. And they are lovely people, and if you harass them, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to slap the shit out of you, give you a firm Italian slap, back of the hand and put you on the fucking naughty step, alright? They are lovely people. They are doing just their fucking job.
Never Cosby.
And they are not the ones making these decisions.
Never.
If you are that upset, buy stock in Games Workshop, become an investor, and then you get to make a fucking argument against the company. Done. Otherwise, post on Twitter and be upset about it, but don't tag anyone. Done.
File a formal complaint. Just
Yeah.
complain like a real complaint.
Exactly. Like, there are ways of doing this apart from just harassing people. Yeah. And I am gonna cut this and put it on Twitter. This is directed at all of you.
The community team is just... They're
Leave
just
Peachy alone. He is a very nice man. He's got a lovely smile, and if you make him cry, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. The community team is great. Like,
yeah.
They're fantastic. Like,
they are absolutely fantastic.
They are the best thing that's ever happened to Games Workshop.
God forbid whenever they do the next fucking community, like whenever they do their next stream, because the mod team is going to be on fucking point. Because it's going to be everybody spamming about Curse City. Guaranteed. It's just fucking put them down.
Like, I genuinely think the community team is responsible for most of the success.
Definitely.
Had in the last few years. They grow because it was partly when the new CEO came in, because GW used to be very against doing anything on social media, which was stupid. They only got the Twitter account like a year ago.
That's true. Yeah, they haven't had it for very long.
They've had it since start of lockdown, basically.
Yeah.
Like first lockdown, like a year ago, I think.
And then they were doing, they were doing all the things on Twitch, and they were getting so much support. I mean, even for Twitch chat, it's minimum to be able to actually talk on their channel is to sub. You have to spend $5 or a Twitch Prime sub to just be able to
sub fine.
Which it's fine, but the thing is that's a revenue stream for them now.
They get like 50k viewers on reveal streams, right? Of course they fucking need subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know, they just, you can see when that started was roughly, I think, around the same time.
I think it was just before. It's like when it was starting to go that way.
Same around the same time. I think the General's Handbook came out and they started fixing Sigma, and then they had the community thing around then, I think. It's just like, there's a very much a point on there where they've just had massive success. I like to think the community was done.
Yeah. Sorry, apologies. Viewers in the north may experience some disturbances in your recording because I'm putting my fan on and viewers in the north may experience... Yes!
Oh.
I was watching some of those... That's some... No, but that's what we should do when we start doing battle reports. Here's my fucking big brain, right? Big brain plan. We're sitting there. We're doing a play-by-play kind of narration over a game, like a stream game of competitive 40k, and someone rolls really bad and say, "Oh, that's a bad miss."
Mate.
I want to do that so bad.
That's the Blood Bowl show we want to do. Though.
Yes. It's the two fucking snooker guys,
and having like. We'll have like a very...
Oh, I want that so badly, you don't even know.
It's like Christmas. It is Christmas. Oh shit!
Oh shit! One of us just disappears for 20 minutes and is replaced by a different caster. Oh, we gotta do that. That's the plan.
I want... That's what you missed last week, guys.
Oh shit!
It was, I thought about the Blood Bowl stuff because the new book came out.
Yes. Shall we get on to talking about that instead of stop bitching about things? Because I think we should talk... Oh, no. We'll get to that.
I'm saying you missed it last week, that's all. But I just can't wait for Blood Bowl eventually.
Oh, Blood Bowl's gonna be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm gonna bring an Orc team. I think I might bring an Orc team. I don't know. Maybe not. No, I think normal Orcs because that's the box I've got.
They're funny because they can't pass to smaller people than them. Because they're like, oh, it's my boy.
It's my boy.
No, Orcs can't pass to each other, but
no, they can't. It's if they're a lesser rank. Yeah. So the Black Orc can't pass to the lineman. The lineman can't pass to the runners.
Well, they can, but like there's a chance they'll
runner.
Yeah, because they're smaller. They have animosity. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they have, so they can only pass to them.
I just looked. My rule book is in the bottom of a giant books pile. I ain't getting it.
Oh, mine's like.
Excuse me.
That is incredible.
Oh,
Oh, you knew.
all right.
Best fucking thing. I mean, people complain that, oh, they're weaker now. I'm like, who?
Who
Because
can...
they've got animosity. Like, well, one, they've got buffs in other places, but two, it's just a
It's a fun rule. Leave them alone.
fun. Yeah.
You know,
I love it.
who's playing competitive Blood Bowl?
Oh, I know.
Speaking of which, while he's trying to find that, let's have a talk about the ironing board that we're getting for 40k.
What's the ironing board?
It's this Sisters model.
Oh, right.
I love it.
Wrong.
The what is it called? A new division of Celestians.
Yeah, they're sacristans.
Sacrosancts.
Sacrosanct.
Celestian Sacrosancts. It's an ironing board. That's an ironing board.
Don't say that. It's not. It's a fucking shield, dude.
I know it's a shield, but it's also, I just noticed it has a flamer attached to it.
There's a bolt gun in it, dude.
There's a bolt gun.
I want that to be a flamer.
I think it's a pistol.
Probably a bolt pistol, yeah. Based on the size.
You could use it in combat. Would be incredible.
Look.
Look, it looks like an ironing board. I'm just saying.
The funniest thing in this is, oh yeah, you could build 5 Celestians from this box, or you could literally just use this box.
Well, just the normal Sisters box.
Yes.
And make 10 Celestians.
You'll probably run out of halberds though.
No, not for halberds, for regular Celestians.
You
Right?
can make the normal Celestians with guns out of that box, but
Oh,
why the
right.
fuck would you?
The only thing,
You know what's
the only
weird?
thing different
That
about
box-
Celestian is the helmet. You just made a bunch
I
of
will.
good
The helmet
die.
I want to point out is really
Cool.
stupid.
Oh.
No, look at it. It's like it sticks out like here
So
with the fucking
Celestial-
fleur-de-lis in it. It's really dumb. Everything else about that
Celestial
model is
one-
gorgeous. It's just that helmet looks stupid to me.
Yeah, the regular Celestial one has it in the forehead.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes more sense.
I like this one, like, only because it's more grandiose for, like, a melee character.
It looks
Yeah.
like she's trying to play fucking what's that game you play? You have to write on a post-it note. You know, I am this person, and people have to guess.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
she's doing that. That's what it looks like to me. However, everything else about this model is gorgeous. The halberd itself is great. I love the design. I'm going to steal some of these and make them... actually, no. If I really wanted to cheap out, I would convert these to the Admech Skitari with the Tesla spears from 30k.
Yeah.
But in reality, they look better because obviously it's more Admech-y. That's the thing. It's only if I want to be a cheap ass, but otherwise these are a gorgeous unit, and I could definitely see them having a place, especially in George's list.
They could
Nail
have
it,
lists
boy.
in so many lists. Like, Sisters struggle so much with elite slots.
Really?
Everything you have is an elite. Like,
This will be an elite, right?
This will probably be an elite.
This is an elite. Like, no question. It is
Yeah.
an elite. The Celestians are an elite. This is an elite.
Yeah.
The Walkers, those aren't going to be heavy support. Those are going to be elite. The
Yeah.
new character is an elite slot.
Well, the Palatine.
No, she's not. She's a HQ.
No. The
Oh, the new...
No, she's not.
Yes.
My-
She's a,
the
she's
chaplain.
a HQ.
It's
she's
50-50.
It's a
She's a
50-50. Yeah, it's a 50-50 of whether she's HQ or not.
I
I'm
think she's
hoping-
HQ. She's a
Yeah,
chaplain's
yeah.
there. It has to be
I'm-
HQ.
I'm hoping she'll be a HQ, but I've got a feel that it's going to go
There are no
with the rest of the characters.
there are no non-HQ priests in 40k.
God. Minotaur priests are elites.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're not real. They're like fake priests. So.
The priests.
They are the priest. Yeah, exactly. They're the priests.
Wait, but Sisters already have those. I meant chaplain, but like Sisters already have those.
Yeah.
True, but yeah,
Right.
and they're elite slots.
Yeah. So why the fuck would this also be an elite if they're higher up than them?
True.
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
meant
argument
chaplain
for
anyway,
that.
that's
It's
my
a good
bad.
argument for that
That's what I
case.
meant. I meant like chaplain equivalent. So I meant like the
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
path, not the fucking
There's too many
shitty
things called fucking chaplains. That's the annoying part. There's too many chaplains.
Yeah.
Fucking come up with other words. Call someone a vicar.
A vicar.
A battle vicar. That's what I want.
Give us the post.
Battle pose.
Give us battle pope.
We have that. We've got the battle pulpit.
Yeah, true.
That's
it.
true. That's true. See, I do really like this model.
It says
Obviously-
that they can take maces as well,
Ooh.
which Like
George, you can have so many maces. The mechs can take maces.
the
the suit-
Mexican take maces.
George is the mace boy. His LARP
Like-
character has a mace. His entire
Yeah.
army has a mace.
It's in-
Like it's just his thing, you know. He's just adopted it and it's now his.
Yeah, so the sisters are gonna be so strong in close combat.
Oh
They
god, yeah.
already are. They like the.
But now
units
they're
that
just
they
getting
have,
more.
These are gonna be. I mean, if they're AP 1,
I think- Yeah.
insane because they're gonna be AP 2 with Bloody Rose plus one attack
I think-
with Bloody Rose.
What are power mauls usually?
They're usually.
They're usually AP 1.
2, or is
Plus-
plus 2 minus 1.
I think it's +1 -2 actually. I think you're correct. So if they're all gonna get power mauls,
Yeah,
great.
that's right. It's definitely strength up.
It's
Yeah,
strength up
definitely.
more than more AP, and then this will be like more strength, less AP, probably, or more damage.
Well, if it was Sigma, I'd be like, this does this because it's got reach, but reach doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter in 40k. so
That's
it's such a
true.
I'm like, what the fuck does it being a long weapon even mean? in
I
40K,
feel
you
that
know?
maybe because of the fact they've got halberds, they would probably have a unit rule. Because that they
How
that's
They're gonna have the bodyguard rule.
mm,
So because they're Celestians, they're likely to reroll all hits instead of hit rolls of 1 when
Yeah.
near a canoness.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to take wounds.
Wait.
makes sense. But I would
That's
think
what's
I
like
would think if
terrible.
in terms of reach, it'd be a situation of like what's engagement range? It's an inch, isn't it?
I will
Oh, wait,
say,
no, 1, yeah.
Yeah.
a guardian spear is +1 strength, AP3, D3 damage, and that's the custodian's spear.
So this will
Halberd.
definitely not. This will definitely be like probably 2 damage. I could see
Oh,
this
the
being
same.
2 damage, but probably +1. Probably only -1 AP, but 2 damage. As a, at a guess.
I think it might be +1 AP2, and then 1 or 2 damage, maybe D3 damage.
Yeah, it's the
it'll
difference
have plus
between
strength.
it's between the maces. It's like compared to what the mace does, and the thing is like, is it a
Well, it doesn't
mace
have-
or is it a power maul? Because a power maul already exists, and
Yeah.
they're saying it's a mace,
Oh,
so it's a
you know what, the
different
mace,
thing.
Sorry, I thought the halberd.
Oh no, we
no.
are talking about the halberds, but like you've got to compare it to be like, okay, if the halberd does this, what is the mace gonna do?
True.
So it's like
The
a
mace,
weird
I think, will
balance
be
thing.
big.
Yeah.
+2 strength probably, because that would be huge on them. Because that makes them
Mm.
strength 5. They do need that.
That would make the wound marines on 2s.
Oh.
And 2s.
If they're Bloody Rose for like 1
Right.
CP.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I like the idea of that.
They're gonna hit you and they're just gonna go. Goodbye.
Just killing marine equivalents is nice. Being able to do that. I again, like there's not much we can like. This is a lot of it. It's just base assumption, but the fact it's it's here is great.
Love it.
And also we actually have points for the Palatine now.
I didn't realize she didn't have points.
Yeah,
That's
no,
hilarious.
I assumed she just did, but no, she's 45 points, no other upgrades, and 5 points for a plasma pistol.
No
Done.
GW. Very
Pretty good.
stupid sometimes.
You get a Rosarius for free. Very cool.
I mean, to be fair, like that alongside, like you got your Canoness, you've got a Palatine nearby, you've mostly got the Chaplain probably nearby, and you've got more melee units that's not just Sister Repentia.
Yeah, that is your only melee unit, as far as I remember. That is order. You do have other ones.
Definitely.
Oh, you got more.
I was about to say
Different.
the fucking
Different.
Arcoflagellants. Do they have it?
They aren't order.
They're-
just.
They're just Ministorum.
They're just Minister.
Yeah.
Zeraphim.
Oh shit! Yeah, Zephyrim.
Yeah. Zeraphim
The
are
fact that
fucking
he didn't
the
remember
coolest
it
fella.
doesn't mean that they're probably not worth it taking as
They
a melee
are
unit.
good.
They're incredible.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're-
Well, I'll shut my whole
they're
mouth then.
Yeah,
They-
no,
they
are
annoyed me because they're like
really
they have
good.
they really like they annoyed me when they released them because they gave the rules out for them, but at the same time as Howling Banshees, and it was like, Howling Banshees might also get in this rule because it's because Howling Banshees need this to be viable, and they just didn't get the rule, which is
Nah.
reroll old wounds.
Yep,
because
they
they're
get
strength-
reroll all wounds and they
They
get like
reroll,
you can't overwatch them or something like that. I can't
yeah,
remember.
they Seraphim get reroll all wounds because they're only strength 3 and they're power swords, right? That makes them usable. Holy Banshees didn't get that, and I got really sad.
Yikes.
So nasty.
Right. Sisters. After that, let's have a quick chat because we've had the sisters being shown off. We have also got Lord Croak.
Oh shit, yeah.
Look at this fucking lad.
I wasn't expecting this.
This
'cause Lord Croak's
mobility
like
scooter of a man.
He's like the strongest model in Age of Sigmar at the moment.
And now he's got a big ass fucking base. This is a gorgeous model. Holy
It's also
shit!
good that
It's
he's gonna get a datasheet update when he's overpowered, so that's probably good,
he's most likely getting a new datasheet in a different. I'm
is
assuming
getting
it's
a
from a
new
Broken
datasheet.
Realms book. Yeah, Broken
Yeah.
Realms. Yeah,
I wonder,
So
if it'll
Seraphim-
be, I wonder if it'll be Croak. Or if
It will be.
it is
It
Croak.
will be.
It is Croak.
Because like they just released a Broken Realms book that has Seraphim in it.
Yeah, the Be'lakor one's got a lot of Seraphon stuff in
Yeah,
it too.
very strange. So I'm gonna assume, but like I
But
can't
he's
imagine them
not
releasing
in
a
there.
model. No, he's not. But I can't imagine them releasing a model like that and it not be his book. Can't imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like
I think there's a
It
lot.
depends on
I
Broken
think Broken Realms is gonna be a lot of books.
it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I saw in the Broken Realms thing that it's like, oh yeah, the Be'lakor one, there's gonna be some dwarf stuff. It's like 2 triumphs and a battalion. I'm like, oh,
I love that you get custom triumphs. That's so cool.
you get there was 2, and then for the carriage one, and then the Fireslays are mentioned, but it's like new rules for the Grimwrath Berserker and the Doomseeker. I'm like, why? Like, I'm
Shit,
really confused. Like, why is this here?
Yeah,
Because it's
Data
just,
sheet
it's just,
update.
yeah, but it's like, I'm just trying to figure out the why and if it's going to change by a lot. You know what I mean?
It will be a completely new data sheet, probably.
Mm.
I remember. Here's the thing, and why Sigma take the big stinky shit on GW on 40k.
Mm.
That's not free. That's free. You
Well,
don't have to pay.
Oh, so I don't have to buy those 2 new data sheets.
No, because
No,
they're
'cause
gonna be
they'll
on
be
the
on
Thank
app.
fuck, because I don't want to have to buy this book.
Yeah. This is
Also, there is. I didn't know. I didn't even notice there was Fire Slayers. Huh.
Yeah, I clicked it. I'm like, it's like
Well,
no
that's good, 'cause-
bonuses, no like it's just Doomseeker, Grimwrath Berserker. I'm like,
They both suck.
kind of
Though.
neat.
They both suck though, right?
the Grimwrath Berserker was good. Doomseeker not so much. Grimwrath
Doomseeker's
Berserker could
garbage.
reliably, like a Grimwrath reliably, could actually take out a good like a normal core unit by himself.
I thought they were kind of meh.
They
The
were
Grimwrath-
they were
I think
good
just kills
to-
anything it touches, right?
most of the
But-
time, yeah, but it was always
Just gotta get
the
there.
it was always the being able to attack twice, which like yeah, like you did it on a 2. I think I can't remember now.
Wasn't
like-
it on like a 2-up and then a 4-up?
Yeah, it's a 2-up, 4-up. Right.
I couldn't do it once. It's on a 2-up, and then when it dies.
Ah, that was it.
Okay, right. I've
think
heard.
about-
I've heard.
okay.
hang on. I'm finding the fucking Grimwrath
Oh,
stuff because
oh,
I've got it nearby.
I got my phone.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Grimwrath.
So if I'm looking at them now, like the weapon's okay.
Yeah.
I
So
remember, aren't they just too slow to do anything? is what
yeah,
I
they had a
remember
4-inch
them.
move, and the thing is, they were by themselves. What's he got? 4 attacks with his axe, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, -2, 2 damage. Each time you allocate a wound, +1 to the roll if there's any units within 3. On a 6-up, it's negated. So you had a 5-up feeling of pain for mortal wounds as well. And at the end of the combat phase, if it's within 3 of an enemy unit, on a 2+, make a pile-in move, and then attack with all your weapons again. And then if it dies before it moves to play, it can then make a pile-in and then attack again. So potentially you could run in, kill some things, fight again, kill some things, get killed, fight again.
Yeah, overall, they don't have great data sheets. They're kind of boring. So I think
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it's interesting because I just like running him at things.
yeah, you have to think of about how what has got new data sheets recently as an
Yeah.
example. You look at the ones in the Nurgle Demon ones, right? The Scrivener and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I can grab in
Oh,
the book of
having
but I don't
him
have to reach-
actually having like loads of fluffy rules extra instead of just being I run
Yeah.
at things, I die. I'm like I'm
what's gonna
so
be-
down for that.
That's what it's gonna be. So because the Bile Pipe and the Scrivener's rules went
Mm.
from like I give an aura. I get the same aura. We're both boring to absolutely full of flavor,
Mm.
both extremely interesting and strong with a lot of choice on how you can use them and like a strategy.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're genuinely two of the most best written data sheets they've made.
True. And the thing is
Cool,
as well,
you get
like,
an
at
update.
least with those
Nice.
two models, especially the Doomseeker, Grimwrath occasionally reappears, but in reality, you could just not take those units, take, you know, two
Take
guys
something
on
else the points,
Magmadross,
happy.
take loads of Hearthguard, a priest, done. That is your
Yeah.
2,000 points. You will fucking kill everything.
I feel like that's the case with Fire Slayers. You're like, yeah, you've got all these cool things.
Yeah,
But-
it's pretty much okay. You want to if you want to play, you take Hermdar. You take like 2 to 3 units of Hearthguard Berserkers in a battalion with Magmadroths. Those Magmadroths get bonuses. Your Hearthguard are Lords of the Lodge, so they get, you know, be able to, 1, you have a guy who can fucking teleport them, and then 2, they get to fight twice, and they're doing the mortal wound output. You're like, there you go. That's
Important question, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a guild triumph for Cavern Overlords?
they actually we'll get to that, but as I said, we'll go look at that. We'll go to that now, and we'll go back to Croak.
Oh, we're done. I mean, that's it. That's pretty much it on Croak.
That's
It's a
Croak.
cool
Croak,
model.
Croak is fucking sick.
The only thing
Yeah.
about Croak is he alive now? 'Cause he looks
Mm,
like-
No.
I-
he's good. He's looking
I was,
better
saying,
than he did.
I was saying, he looks like a dead frog, but he doesn't look like an ancient dead, like a frog who died a long time ago.
I'm pretty
anymore,
sure
right?
I'm pretty sure Croak is still dead.
He doesn't look mummified anymore, is what I mean.
Yeah,
That's
he
true.
doesn't look like a skeleton or anything,
Yeah.
but he still looked dead. Like he looked like he died. Like he looked like Grandpa was in his chair and he passed away in his sleep, right?
Yeah.
And he just found him in the
So
morning.
the nice.
That's
Okay,
what he
I will
looks like
say.
now.
So
Looks
looking
like
at
rather than
the
like-
guild triumphs, by the way, because this isn't all of them. It's based on the guild, so it's based on the
Oh yeah, that's only one example.
yeah. So this one's for any Aether chemists, you know, which most likely you have. Like most of them are taking them as the main HQ, right? Because of the fact that you had your Urgold, not Urgold. Yeah, no, it was Urgold.
Ether Gold.
Ether Gold, yes. Oh, Urgold is the Firesight one.
Mhm.
Your Ether Gold, you could use it to get a triumph. So these will be specific triumphs
yeah,
you can
yeah,
get instead of just taking
Oh.
generic ones. And it is
That's
nice
awesome.
because it's specifically based on a character and affects things for you. So if we look at the Aethermanic Augmentation, use on Aether Chemics before he does his augmentation ability, you can say that is overcharge. If you do, you can instead pick one Skyfarer's unit, so any of your balloon boys, because no one else. It's only them that. It's only the ones with the jetpacks. That is wholly within 2 inches. Oh no, that is wholly within 18 inches of the model. If that model has a Chemist Supreme Command trait, you can instead pick 2, which is great because it combos off. In both cases, the ability can be used even if the Aether Chemist is part of the garrison, but only Skyfarers. So it's basically, instead of them having to be... Because before what it was, if you were doing the overcharge, like the augmentation, they had to be basically within, I think it was like wholly within 6 of you, but now it's wholly within 18. And you can do that, I'm pretty sure, from the transport. Because I'm pretty sure auras specifically can go from transports.
I'm not sure.
I have to double
Yeah,
check.
I think they can.
Especially
I think that
especially
can.
the Caradon one. So he's in a ship 18 inches away. Your Skyfarers who've just dropped out of fucking nowhere or off the back of a ship. Oh look, they are now augmented. Or if I've got the command trait, which you're now definitely going to give them, you pick 2 of them, and they're like, oh cool, fucking charge something. But in reality, you don't want them charging something because they're kind of bad in combat. But that's a different question. But I like this. The other one is when a sky vessel has a chemist in it, you can say it's performing large caliber augmentation. Pick a missile weapon. You reroll wound rolls of 1. That is so fucking good for the cannon because you can't reroll the cannon roll.
Honestly,
The
It
cannon
was
wounds
on
on
2,
2s, yes. So it's like, oh cool, he's in the cannon now. Off you fuck. What? Like, yes, it's once per battle, but sometimes that's what you need. You need
Yeah.
to pop that.
The cannon never, ever wounds anything.
Sucks.
I don't
Fucking
think
hate
I've
it. I love that
ever-
cannon.
as a as a rat main, as a scryer boy,
Mm.
I'm gonna compare the rat pain, the cannon pain, to a warlock bombardier.
Yes.
If I didn't every time I don't reroll ones, I roll a 1 and he kills himself.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, rerolling ones is important.
It is very important. But I mean, if we just
Also,
look
since
at
he
the
rolls a 1 twice, and he
yeah,
dies anyway.
so if we just look at the book here, like obviously Stormcast are getting a datasheet because they're getting a new character.
Yeah.
Who else is getting a character? The
Right,
Nighthorn are getting their character in this book.
They're getting the,
But look at their fucking what they're getting. They're getting what?
Right.
Processions and
Yeah.
5
Let
new
Jo- let Jo-
battalions.
No.
Hold on.
Let
So,
George talk. This is
let me-
absolutely massive for George. Because what this is it's a sub-faction. But there's 2 sub-factions, the Nighthorn.
Reichenor's one, I'm assuming, because that was in the White Dwarf.
Yes. And the Reichel one wasn't, was it?
There was a Reikenor one in a
Yeah.
White Dwarf, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hold
But the Emerald Host it was,
No,
and
no.
it's George's army.
Yeah. So basically, the Emerald Host is Lady Olinda's host.
Mhm.
There are 3 battalions for this thing.
Right.
One of which is the Emerald Host. One of which is the Knights of Regret, and the other one is something else. The Knights of Regret lets you get +1 attack, and you can take wounds for your characters on your hex rates. So
Mhm.
+1 attack to your hex rates, and there's that.
Yeah.
The other one is your character becomes Malthor Grest or something like that, and your Knight of Shrouds gets +1 attack, and he can use his command ability for free every turn.
Ooh, okay,
And
spicy.
then the third one, which is one that holds the other 2, is the Emerald Host itself, which I can't remember what it does, but it does something. The point is, the Emerald Host is now not a battalion. It's now a faction.
Problem is, you fucking watch your mouth, because this thing is stupid.
Not problem for me. Problem for anyone else.
Oh my god.
Anyone who wants to play against you.
George, Aaron, can I just point? You were paying points for this before, and I played against this. He's just gone from having to pay points to being able to get more stuff and play the exact same list against me. I'm scared of that. Those are close games.
Mm.
The only thing I don't get now is the ability to give relics to everybody. Well,
Yeah.
I could just take another battalion. I am
You
not
never
fine.
Yeah.
need, you
So
never
correct
need
me
to
if
do
I'm
that.
correct me if I'm
No.
wrong. Though that Emerald Host stuff was in a White Dwarf, correct?
Yes, it's
So now it's being redone, most likely, or at least with some edits, and put in the Broken Realm book.
You could technically still take the battalion, but the rule is the same thing. It's called the same. It's called Knights of Regret, right? So
Yeah.
you use one of the things, I assume.
+1 attack to Hex Raids that have made a charge move in the same turn. In addition, roll a die when you allocate
shit,
a
sorry.
wound or mortal wound to your general. If they're within 3, on a 2-up, they must allocate the wound or mortal wound to one of those units instead.
Yeah, which is quite nice.
Oh yeah, like on the +1 attack on the charge. Like
You go yeah, you go Knight of Shrouds with a really nasty weapon.
are the Hex Raids the one on horses? No, those are the witches. Hex Raids are no.
X-Rays are the ones on horses.
Okay, yeah, they are the one on horses, right? Okay, that's what I was trying to remember.
So the army for what I had was essentially it was a Knight of Shrouds on a horse, the Dreadblade Harrows, which are the 2 lieutenants on a horse.
Yep.
Then 10 Hex Wraiths, and they all drop down turn 1 in the charge. And like
fuck off.
if you land the charge, chances are you're attacking immediately because it's a 9-inch charge, and you have to roll a 10 to attack immediately.
Yeah.
And because it was 4 battalions. Because you needed a 3rd battalion to get the Emerald Host, because there was no one there.
Right.
What you'd end up with is 5 command points at the start of the game. So you were making those charges, because you were just rerolling the ones that you failed, and you then gave a relic to your general on the Knight of Shrouds. You gave a relic to the Dreadblade Harrow. You gave a relic to the other Dreadblade Harrow. And you were struggling to find 2 more characters to put relics on.
Okay.
It's completely nuts.
That fucking sounds it. So I'm just having a look specifically at the Nighthaunt section of the article, at least what they're mentioning. So obviously Emerald Host is 1. So we're getting 2. You're getting 2 possessions. Yeah. So it's
yes.
It's the Emerald Host and then Reichenor's Condemned, which according to this focuses around Chain Rasps and Glaive Wraith Stalkers.
Yeah. So I think. Let me just grab my book. I think the Condemned is a battalion.
I mean, yeah, I'm assuming... Well, because it gets allegiance abilities as well, so I think it's a sub-faction. You don't get allegiance abilities from battalions, do you? Not usually, anyway.
No.
So I think... No?
Yeah, the Condemned
Not
is
Legion's
is a battalion.
Right, so
the-
it's now becoming a sub-faction.
The Condemned is Spirit Torment, Chain Ghasts, Chain Rasp Hordes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's reroll fail hit rolls for Chain Rasp Hordes within 15 inches of Spirit Torment or Chain Ghasts.
Ooh, okay.
Whereas they usually only reroll once.
So yeah, with this being the case of like, because it specifically says you're getting keywords and allegiance abilities, that to me sounds like it's actually a sub-faction you're getting, which is cool.
No, it is a sub-faction, yes.
So, but it's also like, okay, there's Dread South Harridans.
Dreadside
Units.
Harridans are the unit with the blade hands, the other banshees.
The other,
essentially, ones
okay,
that cast
yes.
like
So they're getting a new data sheet.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're already good.
The cool, obviously we're
Um,
getting the Cruel Ghast, and there's also the Sorrow Mourn Choir, which I'm assuming
That
is
is
a
a
battalion.
battalion.
That is
Yeah, that's
that
the
sounds
box-
like a battalion to me.
That's the box set. That's the
Oh yes, yes.
It's funny because that's also kind of exactly like one of the other battalions, which
Mm.
you take a bunch of banshees and stuff of all Linda, but this one is with a Linda. The other one isn't with a Linda.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
you
main-
actually get bonus ones, which is nice.
Yes.
I mean, the cat, like, because obviously we're getting Drongon's Aether Runners, which is just a the newer Aether Man they brought out, and there's loads of balloon boys, and that's it. I'm like, okay, cool.
It's funny though, like
It's probably a good way of taking them. Like, I don't know what the rules will be for it, but
yeah. At the end of the day, like this stuff is great because like you're gonna have a lot more fun ways to play Overlords, even though it's just a few things, right?
yeah, exactly.
Huge for Nighthaunt. The entire sub-faction for Be'lakor is great. It's nice that it already existed.
Yeah.
But they are updating it, which is nice. There's a lot of the previous sub-factions they've done, though, for Chaos have been a bit shit. Including
Mm.
the one in Marathi, which is cool and fun, but they
But,
don't have any
yeah.
relics,
Yeah,
which is, that's not good. You need relics.
yeah. And obviously, Seraphon are
Um,
just getting an update to their bound spell list of just
Yeah,
they got a
the
few more
Seraphon
things,
is
plus
the
a
most-
plus a battalion. So
Like,
Yeah.
Tzeentch are just getting a battalion, that's fine. They don't need anything. And neither does Seraphon, but it looks weird, because Seraphon will get all those bound spells, which I didn't expect.
mm,
But overall, this is just great. It's just great stuff. It's just more interesting rules and stuff. And I just like Broken Realms because it doesn't quite feel like bloat.
yeah.
It is mainly a book. It is mainly a book with narrative, and you go, "Oh, I like this narrative. I like Be'lakor.
Oh, but the narrative
I'm
have
gonna
rules.
play-
Oh, sick.
I'm gonna play a sub-faction.
Mm.
Oh, I'll buy this book, which I'm gonna read the narrative for anyway."
Yeah.
And then when it is a little rule update, like the data sheets,
Mhm.
they're free. The main thing is things like the Captain Overlord ones, which is a single page of what seems like an important update. That's a bit weird because I think everyone needs to use that. So I'm not sure how accessible that will be outside of the book. don't think it
To
will.
be honest, doubtful.
But a lot of people have had. I don't know. I think
Someone
there'll
will
be a new
screenshot them somewhere
battalion.
else so that you get access to them, so you can at least use
Yeah,
them.
it's only one page at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like,
So, I mean, obviously, we got to talk a little bit about Be'lakor because it is his book. He gets a summoning rule.
oh, you meant his faction. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
Be'lakor gets himself, obviously, big data sheet, and the Legion of the First Prince, which is his sub-faction specifically. It's focusing about, it's at the end of, pick a hero that is on the battlefield, summon one of the following units on the battlefield and add it to your army. That unit is summoned determined by the hero's keyword. So obviously, because Be'lakor is Chaos Undivided, there obviously will be ways to bring heroes in, whether they be demons themselves or, I don't know, potentially Warriors of Chaos style.
Yeah.
What are they called now?
They are the undivided slaves of darkness.
Slaves of Darkness, that's the one. But then, you get 10 Bloodletters, which is pretty good. 5 Horrors if you're Tzeentch, Nurgle's 10 Plague Barriers, and
Hey.
Slash's 10 Demonettes. Like, those are good units. And then Be'lakor's one is, you get to choose, or you take a unit of 6 Furies. They're set up with wholly within 12, and more than 9 inches of the hero, and then 9 inches away from enemy units. If the unmodified roll is a double, it takes a mortal wound. If it's triple, it's D3 mortal wounds. But
Sorry,
you have to
sure.
be
Yeah,
rolling
better than
above a
they used to be,
10.
right?
I don't know. I don't know how much has changed with them.
For which units?
Furies.
I don't know.
Oh, Furies. Furies are great. Sorry, Furies are great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But then, if you use Be'lakor, the ability to choose the type, because obviously he himself can do it. But then also there's a primordial commander command trait, which is whenever you're doing your summon, add 1 to the roll. So that means you need a 9 on 3 dice. That's pretty doable.
No, it's very doable.
And to be honest, I'd most likely want I'd probably want a Nurgle or a Slaneshi hero. Because Demonettes are fucking fast, and you know, Nurgle, you know, you've got Plague Bearers who won't fucking die. You know. Both of those are good options. Bloodletter, Horrors, maybe, I guess.
Horrors are good because they have
Because they can split.
25 wounds.
That's true. They're very durable for objective holding.
They don't fucking die.
Yeah.
They just don't die.
I think all of these are good options, but I'm assuming as well, when they summon, you can still charge them that turn.
Oh yeah,
So-
they just
so-
disappear on the board.
They just appear.
They'll be far away. Yeah.
That, alongside what we've already seen of Be'lakor, I think this is going to be a very good book, and people wanting to play Slaves of Darkness, or, you know, Demons with Be'lakor.
I'm just interested what the lore is for this.
Yes.
Because there was a mention of there being a unexpected weird alliance in the book, which basically means, looking at who's in the book, either Nighthaunt and Chaos or Nighthaunt and Order. Both are fucking insane. So I'll see.
Yeah, I'm really curious why they're Fire
And-
Slayers are in this book.
This is an important book. Oh, because they're dwarves, right? And there's dwarves working with the other dwarves. And I guess Seraphon. Seraphon might be. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
But yeah, it's interesting to see what they'll do with that.
Dwarves
also-
und Lizards.
When it comes to lore stuff in Techless, Nagash gets Nagash has a bad time at the end of that book.
Clowned on.
He gets
Absolutely clown.
No, like massive lore huge huge ramifications from like what happens to Nagash in that book. Like I think it's like the 9 books of Nagash get basically incinerated.
Oh shit, okay.
And, like like all of the like all of the ghosts that hover around him on his model, those all got obliterated as well. He's just a big skeleton man now.
Oh fuck, okay.
Yeah. So they also set up the idea that Neferata and so on, when they were sent to do jobs for him in this book, they've got these other schemes going on.
Ooh.
Like what's this?
Oh, of course they
It's
do.
like-
They always do.
They're just like they're undividing him. at
One of
every
them,
turn because
straight-
of course
one of-
they are.
they do what they're told to do because they have to, because they're basically like his slaves.
Yeah.
But one of them, but like Carsten fails, like he just deliberately shit tactics and fails on purpose and stuff. It's really interesting. But like, if Nagash is weaker, which is 100% what it is, he's gonna be weaker. He's gonna be weaker. I think he's gonna lose control of the Mortarch. I think they're gonna become their own factions.
Well, I mean, considering how the
And that's
Grave Lords
how-
are going now,
that's
yeah.
how the Grave Lords will come into existence. It's because they're not going to be under Nagash anymore, and that's awesome. And it's also like it's broken realms, right? That you can see why they've called it that. If that is what they do, it's
Yeah.
because they've got these grand alliances, and they're going to smash them up into pieces. Like they've already done that with Marathi,
true.
which was really cool.
It's actually
I'm
really
excited.
it's really well done storytelling, and it actually has huge consequences.
Yeah,
Unlike
it changes how you
40K.
play the fucking game.
Yeah. Like, no, honestly,
Like,
hearing a lot of this
genuinely.
stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm really curious what happens now.
Yeah. Oh, Sigma's not got any law. Fuck
Sigma's
off.
got really good lore. It's
It's
just,
such a good
it's
job.
difficult to find because it's not 40k. And not saying that, obviously, when I say difficult to find, it's that it's
People aren't.
40k has got such a pedigree that you will hear stories of stupid shit from 40k. You will not
Yeah,
hear
even though
stupid
it-
stories from Sigma
Even
because
though,
it hasn't been
this-
around as long.
40k fucking. I don't even. I think the law is fucking meh.
A lot of it
Actual-
is. I mean, that's why.
Actual narrative. Sorry, the law's okay. The narrative of it is garbage at the moment. Horror series is cool, but
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
Horus Heresy's already happened. It's not anything
Yeah.
new.
The
I know,
Horror Series
exactly.
is cool if you care about Space Marines.
basically.
Like, I liked some of the Horus Heresy stuff. I think it's actually genuinely interesting. You know, but
Right.
it's like, okay, but what about everything else that's going on in the universe, or you know, the current timeline of like, oh yeah, we're getting these new codexes. I highly doubt anyone gives a single fuck about what's going on right now, because they're now rewriting it all.
Well, what happened? What happened
does
in?
not connect in any meaningful way to 9th edition 40k.
The only meaningful thing that happened in the last few years of 40k was Cadia. That's it. And because they also based several games off of that happening, right? So you got to see like the cinematic moment of Cadia falling. It's like, oh, that's fucking huge. Yeah, what did that turn out? What did that pan out to be? Nothing.
Like Eldar went, oh man, we've got a new god now. That's a big deal. New faction.
Is it though? It's not.
That faction doesn't exist.
Nah, fuck them.
But like, they're not playable. They're in
yeah, exactly.
It, Which have to approve or something.
We can only hope that that changes, and I really want to start reading into. I mean, to be fair, I need to start reading books more anyway, but I really want to read more of the Sigmar stuff. I want Grungy. Fuckers. I'm gonna keep complaining about it.
He's being
He's working, man. He's got a job.
Yeah,
he's working full time.
He's not the unpaid intern anymore. He's now gone full time.
No, he's full pay. That's why he has so much gold, right?
That's
but, like,
true.
He's working full time.
But it's because he's like, oh, I'm gonna unify the dwarves. It's like, okay, do it then, pussy. Fucking do it. Because I hope at some point in the Broken Realms we get a you can have a unified dwarf faction. Like, fuck yeah! All right, I'm so in. That's what I want.
I do think dwarves will have more of a spotlight at some point because I know that they're in this one, but like,
I need them. GW, please.
Yeah.
Look, I complain about I'm defending the community team here. You owe me now. Give me dwarves. You fucks.
Like, it's weird. It's like,
I think that's how it works.
They've done a dark elf city and they've done a high elf city. Now,
that's true.
Pretty much.
That's true.
The fact that this book doesn't have a city of Sigmar saddens me. I think every book should have a city. I genuinely think that's what they should have done.
Where's the Lizard City?
Yeah, Lizard City would be cool. I'd be down.
Been in this book, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because there's no dwarf city.
But they missed out on that. There is, but in the Overlord book, right? The Overlord city.
Yeah, because the Cadron Overlords have their own skyports. Obviously, the fires like there's no city of Sigmar of free folk that is dwarf like apart from Greywater Fastness.
Yes.
Yeah,
kind of.
that's it.
They're more Greywater Fatness aren't really dwarven.
No, they're more. They're engineers.
They're like AdMech.
Yeah, kind of.
They build cogports, and cogports are. You wouldn't know about these because they've barely ever mentioned them. There's not much art, but there's one of them in Marathi. Cogports are giant, pile-moving castle-sized fortresses in Age of Sigmar with these massive robot legs.
They wander around the wastelands of the Realm of Fire.
Oh, that sounds fucking sick.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
That sounds really cool. God damn it. Oh, I've got to look up more stuff now. Don't worry, we've got you two. You two can cover the Sigmar stuff, and then tell me the cool shit, and then I can go and read it. It's great.
Yeah, it's like with Greywater
Fatness, Fat Men.
If you want
Greywater Fat Man.
If you wanted to use a gunner, you would almost you could almost, not quite. You'd have to make them look a little bit more human. You could use Skitarii, because that's what they look like almost.
Okay.
It's cool. Yeah, Greywater Fastness is cool. Yeah.
Speaking of Skitarii,
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a talk about some of the AdMech stuff.
You end up with Skitarii dwarves. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
Like dwarves.
I'm complete.
Metal 10 bits and like.
To be fair, I just like the idea. I just want more dwarf stuff. Like I like dwarf stuff, and I think that the Fire Slayers and the Caradron Overlords are actually written really well for being dwarves.
Yeah, there's not enough stuff.
Yeah. They need more. It's a shame they're kind of like an afterthought, but hopefully that changes. We'll see. Right, but let's go back onto some 40k. Let's have a talk about some of the AdMech stuff, because the AdMech got revealed some new rules. Be'lakor is currently, at time of recording, is going in for pre-order on Saturday. Calling it now, next week will be the pre-order for the AdMech book.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So, preemptive to that, we've got to talk about the guns. They're showing off some updates, and thank fucking God they are. Holy shit. This is great. I love all of it.
Strong.
So, but let me contain myself. Let me, because
Can I just make a quick point?
Go for it.
All you want from a game like this is you want to look at something and have. I can see how that would work. I imagine that this gun, that is a rifle, it shoots like a rifle.
It's better than a las gun.
And then you look at it and you go, oh, it's a rapid fire gun. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, I thought it was lever action.
Yeah.
But no.
Oh.
The lever action one is on the Raiders. It's on the cavalry. Yeah. They have the lever action. These are not lever action.
Right, but like, it's rapid fire. That doesn't make any sense because you want these guys to sit with the actual sniper rifle they have, which is set up on a thing.
You never take rangers.
Yeah.
Like, because rangers are already they're 40 points per, and I think this probably is slightly off, but Vanguard were always 35 points, and these were 40 points.
But now
it's a heavy 2.
It's heavy too. It's a rifle. You can actually put him next to your man with a sniper, and then not be like, "Oh, I've got this one armor-bearing sniper, and all these other boys standing out of range." No, they can all fire. Why did that take them 2 editions to figure out?
Actually, no. Okay, I want to point out in 7th edition, these were okay. These were okay in 7th.
No. I'm not saying they were bad guns. I'm saying it took them 2 editions to
figure out
feel and work like how it looks.
Yes. So let's have a talk about. We're talking about the Galvanic rifles. These were for your AdMech. You've got 2 troops. You got your Vanguard. You got your Rangers. Rangers have this long rifle. Vanguard have the radiation guns. Right. The long rifle, because in reality, normally you're taking a small squad of these guys alongside 2 of the snipers, the transonic Aquabai, and you were sniping characters, or originally, when it came out in 7th, you were shooting vehicles with them because they had armor bane. They don't have armor bane now, they're just character killers. That's fine. The Galvanic rifle itself, previously, as it currently stands, is a 30-inch, rapid-fire 1, strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. A wound roll of a 6 was -1 AP. Yeah. You're only taking these for the transonic. Now, what they're going to be getting, they are now heavy 2, which is great because they're not moving anyway. You don't want them to move. You want them on objectives, or you want them in a building. 30-inch range is still the same, but that's still quite far. Flat 2 shots, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. We don't know if there's anything bonused on top of that, but that is just what we're getting. Flat -1 damage is great. These are now really comparable. These are just not heavy bolters, but like they're like bolt rifles, right? But which means that you're actually going to be like, oh, I'll take more of these then, because that's if you take a standard, you push it up to a 10-man squad with 2 heavy weapons.
That's a lot of shots at strength 4.
That's 18 shot, no, 16 shots.
Yeah,
because the sergeant gets 1 too. Because you can give it to the sergeant, but you can also give him a melee weapon. 16 shots, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. That's actually worth it. That's a really good candidate for stratagems as well.
This is a marine weapon.
Yeah. And it's good because it's like AdMech are the middle point. Same with Sisters. Sisters and AdMech are the middle point between the Guard and the Marines. It's because before it was a las gun. Now it is half a bolter.
Sisters got better armor.
Yes.
Stuff. You've got the better weapons.
Yes. Because obviously the AdMech make them, so why wouldn't we have AP1 on a weapon? This actually gives me hope that the radium weapons are going to be much better.
Like, it's how it looks, and that's all I want,
Yeah, it makes sense.
It always looked like a strong gun. It looked like if I shot someone with this gun, it would rip through their armor. It's a fucking rifle.
The descriptions in the books for the radium weapons are so cool. It just like hits you and just irradiates you, and you just go like black.
Because radium weapons currently, as they stand, are assault 3, strength 3, no AP 1 damage, and a wound roll of a 6 is 2 damage. Right, that's it.
Yeah. If they were just strength 3, 2 damage, that's a really interesting gun.
Yeah, that would be like, okay, I'd take that. It's like, okay, yeah, so yeah, I'm still wounding you on 5s, but everyone's 2 damage. That kills a Marine. That's like hotshot las, still 1 damage. Actually, I want to point out, the Galvanic rifle has the same strength, AP, and damage as a hotshot las gun. Because it's hotshot is strength 4. because that's the whole point, you know? And it's like, okay, with radiant weapons, you're like, okay, you want to be filling them with fucking radiation bullets. That's the entire point.
If you take a wound from a radiant weapon and you lost a toughness, that would be so cool if you lost the toughness.
If this was 7th edition, they would, right?
I think it would be one of those things of you'd
It's
lose
very
you'd
bloated.
lose a toughness for the turn, or
Yeah.
for like a phase. So like they would pepper them, and then you'd shoot a bigger thing at them. Maybe
Yeah, right. You would hit a bunch of Marines with the radiant weapons.
make them T3.
Drop their toughness to T3 and blast them with the Galvanic rifles.
Yes, that would make complete fucking sense. That would
so
actually
cool.
make that would be really cool.
They're not going to do.
They're not gonna do
like,
that, of
fucking
course.
modify it.
That's not the rule in any way.
Yeah.
Shape,
But goddamn, it should be. But the thing is,
The-
it's
the-
looking
the
looking
cinematic
yeah.
of that is
But looking at this, and you know, coming out from the weapons that they gave the newer units, obviously the Cerberus Raiders have galvanic carbines. That's their kind of shtick, you know, the cowboys with the fucking lever actions. So those are probably going to be still. I don't think they'll be heavy because the whole point is they're carbines.
Assault.
They'll still be assault, but you know, strength 4 -1/1 damage on strength 4 chaff units, and you're running them, and they have the ability currently to target characters. Just flat out, they can just target characters with them. That is suddenly super scary.
It's more expensive. Sorry.
I
think.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders at the moment are so fucking cheap for what they are. They're really undercosted, I think. But in
Well, the
reality
Raiders
as well,
are Raiders.
more people are taking the Sulphur Hounds. Well, yeah, it's 50-50. The Sulphur Hounds are interesting because the whole, like, you know, you have 12-inch flamers on your face.
So okay, so
We
the
love it.
carbine at the moment,
Yes.
it was just assault instead with a less
Yes.
range, but like you had more range than the rapid fire.
And
think
you
it
can
will
and you can target characters with it.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll do.
It's interesting. I'd love to see, but the fact is, this Galvanic has got that flat 1 AP in now.
And this will have it as well.
Yeah, the carbines will have it too, but it also means that the Cerberus Raiders are going to be more of an interesting unit instead of just being there, kind of throwing out some token shots, not doing anything, and then falling back. So I'm really curious. Something I didn't expect, and have been wanting this since 7th edition, when I got into the game properly, because of AdMech, arc weapons are getting changed. Thank fucking Christ. Thank the Omnissiah that we are finally getting better arc weaponry. Arc weaponry has always been so cool, but when they were in 8th edition, it's like, oh, D3 damage on a vehicle. Why would I just not take plasma?
Yeah.
You got more shots with plasma. Now,
And you can use it on infantry as well.
yeah, exactly.
It just does D3 damage. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, so the old one, the sad profile, 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 6. It's a good strength. -1 AP, 1 damage. But the idea is you're shooting them at vehicles. Most vehicles are T7. So, like, oh, I'm spiking for 5s, but every 5 is D3. If they don't save it, because it's only -1. Now, I'm sorry, I saw this article, I read through it, I was so fucking happy, and I still am. Now, 30-inch range, rapid fire 1, still strength 6, -2, D3. And if you're shooting a vehicle, it's a flat 3 damage, and you're always wounding on 4s.
It's so scary. When
It's fucking amazing.
I will say,
Oh,
you are always wounding on foes.
yes.
Always.
Because it's an unmodified wound over 4, which
Yeah.
will negate if it's like, oh, I'm -1 to wound. Are you?
Wait, no.
Not anymore.
If you're wounding on a 3-up, you're not wounding on a 4.
No, it doesn't say that only.
No, it's not it's not only, no. So if you're there's no vehicles that are T5 that have the vehicle keyword, I think.
The wording to it. The wording to it.
Even
maybe.
orc trucks, which are the least armored shittest vehicle probably, are still toughness 6.
Killer can.
I wish John was here. He would know. I don't think they're
No, it's
T5.
not.
I think they're T6.
I think they're T6.
Because Death Dreads are T7.
6. It might just be they're all 6 anyway. I'm pretty sure they are. But like,
Yeah, but here's the thing. So,
I think the wording of it's a little weird.
it's slightly weird wording, but...
T5,
Huh? Are they? And they have the vehicle keyword.
and their vehicles.
Woo! Okay, so that you got one option.
The wording on it does say it doesn't say anything about.
Oh.
So essentially, say you roll if you were shooting at a killer candidate, you would wound it on a 3.
But it's
But
otherwise,
say-
unless stated.
But say you were shooting at
A knight.
Or you were shooting at a vehicle wet was T6, and you had -1 to wound, and you rolled a 4, and you needed a 5. The 4 would still wound.
Yes, because it's unmodified specifically. So I want
It
to
doesn't
bring up
exempt
what is the
below.
toughness of the Eldar and oh no, they have the bite. They don't have the vehicle keyword. The Venoms.
No.
The Venoms do.
do.
Venoms do,
The
but they're
transports.
still T6, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, right, never mind then. But look, the idea is like, okay, you're actually at a stable range.
T5.
Are they?
Yeah, the T5.
Okay,
Oh.
but yeah. So you're at a stable range. You're at a 30-inch range anyway for one shot. 15, which is respectable, because most likely you're putting these in Vanguard units, right? And running them up the board.
Get that rapid
So
fire.
you want to be in rapid fire range anyway. You're wounding knights on 4s with a very cheap, with a very small and cheap unit. And a base unit of 5, you can take 2 heavy weapons, which are these. I think this is a really good option instead of taking plasma. Depending on what you're
Yeah.
going against. If you're going for an all-comers list, plasma can
Oh,
vary,
it's
but
fantastic.
I wouldn't take plasma in a Skitarii unit. I would take plasma cataphrons. And we'll get onto that in a second.
Take it on a bigger thing.
You want to take it on a bigger thing because that plasma is more effective. You get it's more token plasma shots, but obviously there is an argument for both. But that's the thing. That means there is an argument for both, which is great. But the fact is, it's like flat 3 damage. You're with a 5-man squad. That's potentially, best output. 4 shots, always winning on 4s, flat 3 damage. That is 12 damage you're doing to a vehicle. That is most transports dead. If they obviously you still got a spike for 4s. That's a 50-50 chance trying to take out a transport early game. If you get lucky.
If you hit a Venom, you can kill it in 2 shots, if you're lucky enough.
If you're dealing with Plague Burst Crawlers. Like, yeah, they're reducing it to damage too, but, that's still 10 damage. No, 8 damage. Stupid.
Yeah, they're reducing it to damage 2, not D3 -1,
Yeah, exactly. So,
which is a big difference.
the fact as well is that it's flat D3 damage anyway, without that, is still good, because that means it's all, and with it being AP2, if I didn't have a vehicle in range, I would be happily shooting this at Marines.
Yeah.
Because, you're dealing with D3.
Yeah, 100%.
This is actually quite a good option to go against,
Anything.
Anything.
Terminator equivalent. Not no.
There's nothing in the game that this can't shoot at, and
Yes.
that's other than monsters. That's it.
And even
This thing is
then,
banging. No, like
Even then, a lot of monsters are T6,
yeah,
yeah, sure. But what I mean by that is like,
like a track.
at that point, you probably are better off shooting something else,
Mm.
right?
yeah. But that's the thing is, like,
But-
it's, as you say, it is the variety. There's nothing this thing can't shoot at, and I love.
Like, the job of this thing is funny, right? Because the purpose of this gun is to shoot at things like knights.
Yes.
Because, and that makes sense because I'd make knights and the fits. This gun, you don't want to use it against toughness 6. So it's toughness 6. You go, I'll shoot the Marines now instead, actually.
Yeah.
Because you're going to wound those easier on 3s. You're
At
not getting
3s
any
at
value
-2.
from your rule other
Yeah.
than the flat 3 damage, which is still really nice.
It's
But
a
obviously, like,
good
if you need the 3 damage, use it.
because
But, like,
before these were cheaper than plasma as well.
Because you're going to have las cannons
Mhm.
and las cannon equivalents. Those will shoot the toughness 6s and
You
kill
can
them
have-
instantly.
Hogginus last cannons.
Yeah, you have Cogger's las cannons. Those will shoot the toughness 6 in.
Oh.
Because they wound them on 3s.
Mm.
You don't need to with this gun. This is a night killing, which is so fucking bizarre and cool.
I love it. It makes so
Yeah.
much sense. But here's a weird side thing,
Or chipping at nights, at least.
because
But I don't know what you have.
obviously it's not just arc rifles. Cataphron breachers have heavy arc rifles. They also have arc claws. Arc claws are also getting this rule of wounding vehicles on an unmodified wound roll of a 4. Which also means that rust stalkers are actually worth it now. Because you can give all of them arc claws.
I think you'll find the real thing is your Skitarii alphas now have arc mauls and can charge knights without being.
Yes! That fuck your Catacomb command barge! My boy's coming after you, George!
No. Oh,
That
yeah,
thing's a vehicle, isn't it?
forget.
It is, but you would have got 4 anyway because of...
Exactly, and it's 3 damage. Fuck you.
It has the same rule reversed.
Yeah, but it's still like, hey, I got 3 damage. I don't give a fuck. I mean, probably the maul will be 2 damage because it's like a lesser weapon. It's only strength 4, or it'd be strength +1. Yeah, strength 4.
No, we have no way of knowing.
I mean, I'm just taking a guess, but it does specific
I
that they are
think
also getting that benefit.
They could genuinely make all the arcs have to do flat 3 against vehicles. I would be surprised.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's what it kind of reads in the bit that they say here. It says the melee versions of arc weapons will also get the benefits against vehicles, giving you breaches, a punch they will use to charge up force. So if I scroll up a little bit.
Yeah,
Your upgraded arc weapons are more reliable against enemy vehicles. They increase their damage, always wound on a 4+ if they're targeting anything from battle tanks to orc buggies. Arc rifle has also received a range boost. So, like, you know, it's... And the both it and the pistol...
And the pistol.
Oh, yes, because you can give arc pistols to the sergeants. They are now AP2, which is really funny. Arc pistol, arc maul. Fucking let's go.
Alright, got a question though, right?
Yes.
Cognis.
Yes.
Flamer.
Ooh.
It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, so, let's... just extra thing as well. Rust Stalkers are getting a huge buff in this book. Well, for their codex, because the swords, the transonic razors and blades, are now going up a point of AP, because they were like, oh, they can cut through marine armor like butter, but they were AP2. That's like, but now they're all AP3, and like you're giving them, they're all gonna have a sword and a razor, or they're having 2 swords, or a claw and a razor. Like they're actually now a unit that is very flexible, which is great.
Yeah, that's scary.
Stick them in a transport. Stick them in a transport. I can see these being actually really big problems. A 10-man squad in a transport.
Yeah,
I love them. They've never had a place because you can never get them anywhere. You'd always take infiltrators.
They were okay in 7. Oh, infiltrators are better, yeah.
Infiltrators are always just flat out always better because you had taser. But now, we'll see. Cognis weapons. So Cognis weapons are all changing.
Only a tiny bit, right? They're getting
They're being shootier.
They're being they're just when in doubt, shoot more. So Cognis Flamers getting the 12-inch bonus, obviously. They are now assault D6 +2.
Yeah.
Instead of they get to roll 2d6 on Overwatch, because the whole point of Cognis, excuse me, I got some burps. The whole point of Cognis was that you shot better at, you could shoot at your, when it first came out in 7th, it was, if you're getting overwatched, or if you're overwatching, you're shooting at base ballistic skill with them. It's like, okay, cool. But why was the Cognis Flamer a thing? But it was also, there was the ability to make it better if it had a Cognis weapon. 8th edition was you could overwatch on 5s, and you could advance with those weapons and only be -2.
Yeah.
And most of them were heavy.
Because the thing, but it was you could move and get -1 and get -1 again from advancing. So they were like kind of assault heavy weapons.
Yeah.
But because there's no penalty to moving shooting heavy weapons anymore, now they turned into, if you assault, if you advance, you get -2 from nowhere. So they're kind of the same.
It's
like,
kind of the same.
Overwatch doesn't exist anymore, and if you advance with this heavy weapon, you can shoot with -1.
Yes.
It's technically the same thing. You'd moved anyway, you were only getting another -1.
Very true.
It's good.
Yeah,
like,
it's a much better change.
It's tidied up something, but overall it's the same.
Yeah,
it's
so
weird. I like
from
the flamer.
What obviously, like the newer one is obviously your flamers 12-inch range, but they're assault D6 +2, so it's always minimum 3, which is nice. It's kind of like a blast thing because it's like a minimum value you're always getting. Cool.
Yeah.
There's not many things that have Cognis flamers. It's pretty much because the flamer that's on the robots on the Castellans is not a Cognis flamer. It's a phosphor torch.
Yeah,
The only thing that have Cognis flamers are Cataphren breaches and destroyers.
How about the boys with the wings?
No, they're phosphor torches too.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to double check about the Castellans. Bear with me.
They're cool though.
No, I do not. I had to look nearby. Like, do I have the book? Castellan robots. But yeah, no. The nice thing is as well, because the idea is just, if it's a Cognis weapon, it shoots more. You've got Assault 6 autocannons. That's fucking that's lush. Love it.
So many shots.
Fucking take 6 shots with damage 2. These are going to be super spicy with with loads of chicken walkers because, you know, 48-inch range, they're highly maneuverable, they're Skitara units, so you could at least, you may still be able to give them +1 to shit, a +1 to hit. +1 to shit is a different thing.
+1 to shit.
+1 to
Some of the
shit.
is important.
Yeah, but you give them, you know,
For real implants.
no, so it's Incendine Combustor, but no, it wasn't a Cognis weapon. With this, it's a really good amount of shots. It's still an autocannon. You just shoot better. You're shooting more than the Blood Angels Predators, and those were a big deal because they had autocannons and you used to do special shit with them. There's only one unit that can get those autocannons, which is the Chicken Walkers, and you give them, and you can give them Twin Cognis Las. And I think this is the first.
On the crab tank.
No, not an autocannon. On the tank, it's the neutron laser. It is a heavy phosphor blaster, and the Icarus array, and the and the eradication ray. Those are your options. So that has an autocannon in it, but it's not it's an Icarus autocannon. It's not a Cognis autocannon. So that may get changed as well, but we'll see. In addition to that, you know, your twin Las is now an assault. You got assault Las, and it's D3+3. I think have the Las in the Marines Codex, is that D3+3 now, or is that different?
Yeah, that's the standard las cannon.
Standard las cannon.
Yeah, okay. So, but now the thing is you've got assault las cannons.
Yeah.
And your chicken walkers as weapon platforms are hitting on 3's base. Hitting on 4s with 2 las cannon shots, and you could potentially have 6 of them in a squad.
Again, this is why I was all about arc weapons. You don't shoot like the toughness 6 things are already dead because the las cannons are gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, you got las cannons, or you fire auto cannons at them because you have more shots.
What the fuck's a neutron laser gonna do though?
That's what I'm really, because I really want that's good because that was D6 and minimum 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be 6 damage or something. It's gonna be.
I want it to be because it needs to be a flat number of shots. Because D3 shots is always a fucking pain. Because it was always 1 shot and it did nothing. It needs to be, it needs to be flat shots with better damage. I think would
double
be the
damage
way.
against Titanic units. I don't know.
Something like that, but it needs to be something different.
Is that a macro weapon now?
Yeah. Macro cannon. Fuck it. But it's just, Cognis is getting, it's making Cognis different, which is nice. It's like, I've got a Cognis autocannon. What is it? I don't know, it's just an autocannon.
Old Cognis was stupid as well, because how often would you go, I'm going to advance this and shoot with my super
Not
hit?
very, because you didn't need to.
Last cannon on the 5-er.
For reference, the Doom Scythe used to be pretty much the same as the Neutron Laser, minus the minimum 3 damage.
Yeah.
That went from strength 10 -4 to strength 12 -4 D3+3 instead of D6.
Mm-hmm.
It gained 12 inches of range, and it went from heavy D3 to heavy 3.
I don't know. Ooh, right. Because I don't think the neutron laser needed extra range because it's already 48.
No.
It was always huge.
The Death Ray had 24-inch range.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Death Ray was nutty. But it gives me hope that when that gets new stuff, it's like, that's gonna be spicy. And I'm hoping they kind of get rid of the whole difference between the Cult Mechanicus shit, because that annoyed the fuck out of me. Actually, no, they won't get rid of it because no, they may get rid of it, but they may have a thing because that detachment from Caradron it doesn't say Cult Mechanicus, it just says servitors. You know, but we'll see. Apart from that, obviously, Cognis, spicy. Breachers are getting a fuck ton of love from this. Breachers were already starting to kind of come back into meta because arc rifle spam was good on them. Or it was, plasma spam with Riser. But now your torsion cannon, which was an option I completely forgot they fucking had,
It
is
looks really cool.
yeah, it's D3 plus 3. It's 48 inches. And I can't remember the rest of the stats off the top of my head, but actually no, I think I might have them. Actually, I just had a fucking thing for it. If you just bear with me. I'll cut this out when I re-upload this. Heavy 1.
With the last cannon stat line, but strength 8.
Yeah, but it was really short range.
Last cannon's not strength 8. Right?
Yes. But here's the thing as well, right? Your torsion cannon, which was a 5-point upgrade, because the arc rifles were always included. Yeah, heavy 1, strength 8, minus 4 d6. Yeah, last cannon's a strength 9. But, you know, strength 8, minus 4 d6 damage. You know, cool. But now it's D3 plus 3, it's 48 inches, which means they're a really good weapons platform. And the weird thing was with breaches, and I hope they change this, because it looks like they might. I'm hoping they do, based off of just, you know, what they have access to. They need a better weapon skill, because they're the only troops that have an actual close combat option in terms of your troops. You know, you can, they hit on 4s, and you can give them power claws, which means they hit on 5s. Why would you ever do that? Why?
Yeah.
Now, double. You can give them a heavy arc rifle, which is probably now super busted, and an arc claw, which maybe they hit on 3s in melee. Like, okay, I'll take the hit on 4s in range because they're not great servitors. They're not Skitarii. Fair enough. But let me hit on 3s in close combat. Come on.
If sisters can't hit on 3s in close combat, servitors.
Oh wait, can sisters not?
Sisters have a weapon skill of 4+.
Ah, fuck. Okay, right.
Take
okay, if they're a servitor, take away the fucking minus 1 to hit for the power fist. Do that, fuckers.
We'll see.
Yeah, the hit on 5s on a power fist is just like...
That's fucking stupid. Because you pay more for the power fist. It's like, you're not taking a power fist to hit on 5s. You're hitting a power fist to hit on... Like, you're on weapon skill 3 and you're hitting on 4s. Like, that's at least viable. That's like guard level.
It's not actually a power fist either. It's a
it's
hydraulic claw. It's an AP of 1.
Yeah, it's like what? It's such a stupid weapon that doesn't need to be there. It looks cool, but it doesn't do anything.
It's free though.
Yeah, but you just give them arc claws. Look, I'm gonna give them arc claws every day of the week.
It's fine. We'll see what happens, right?
We'll see
what happens.
Last little bonus, another extra thing. Cataphrons don't kill themselves anymore with plasma.
Yeah, not completely anyway.
No. So what it was before is they were still, because they were troops, even though they had 3 wounds, plasma also killed them every time, which is
stupid, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a land raider could die to plasma. So.
Yes, I'm glad they fixed that, but the fact that that was the case.
It took a while. For a while, it was just like, whatever. If you just don't use it, then up to you.
Yeah. But
zombie plasma.
Yeah, but now it's just mortal wounds. Thank Christ, because it was unnecessary for them to die when you're only taking them in really like base 3 of them. If it was a Skitarii, I could understand, but these are big ass tank servitors.
Yeah.
Why are they auto blowing up? You know, but now they've fixed that. Thank Christ. These Cataphrons are going to see a lot more play. Like, they're already getting a lot more play, and we're just going to see more of it. But there's so many options, and I love it.
After seeing the Dark Elder Codex, and like seeing all these, like, all of these changes are positive, and it's like,
It's changes that make sense.
Maybe they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait to see what happens.
I've got complete faith that this book is going to be a banger. Absolute complete faith. Especially just from I'm believing. But here's the thing is as well, like we've got, you know, another week. They'll probably show off more next week because they'll put up the Sunday preview. They'll be like, "Oh, AdMech," because it was end of April. They said end of April anyway, so it would line up.
We will see how Canticles work next week and their other thing that they might gain.
We'll see the AdMech rule.
The AdMech rule? What do you mean?
Yeah,
well, I mean, like, it's Canticles at the moment.
Oh, so what either what Canticles currently are or what they become?
Yeah, well, how they'll tweak it or if they'll
every faction has like 2 rules now, right? So You've got a rule that you get for being AdMech, and you'll have a
Yeah,
rule you get
yeah.
for making an AdMech army. Like, Sisters have Shield of Faith and whatnot, but they also have Sacred Rights. Space Marines have, the
doctrine.
rerolling leadership and shit, and Bottle to Discipline, but they also have doctrines.
Right, okay, I see what you
Dark
mean.
Elves have Power Through Pain. They also have the new detachment that lets them have fucking 3 Warlords.
Yeah, they got
That's true.
combat drugs, and they've got
And combat drugs.
Yeah.
And
so you might get a Cult Mechanicus thing, and it's
that would be nice, because at least they added
And then
that. They
an
added
thing.
that because you could have a sub-faction specific canticle.
That would be See if they do like
Because they already had, they gave us that from Psychic Awakening, and it was cool. But it's also the thing of, like, it completely reinforced the you just pick Mars and win.
Yeah.
So
They
the
need
problem
to make it
is
so.
actually, to be fair, now Cabal of the Black Heart, like, because I was when I was reading through, it's like, oh, why wouldn't you just always take it? And in reality, it's like, oh, but the other options are also really good. Like,
no, you didn't have. No, you didn't have
the
to take a Battle of the Blackheart because the way it was fucking written, you could use the stratagem without having a single Cabal of the Blackheart model on the fucking board.
oh wait, what?
Yes.
Originally,
So
right?
stupid.
Okay.
it was
For a while. It was a long time.
yeah. It's because it was just
Anyone was an agent of Vect.
it was nothing on the stratagem said you had to be Black Hat to use it. It was just a
It
Black Hat
said
stratagem, and there was no
Black Hat
restriction.
stratagem. When your enemy uses a stratagem, you can use this one to do this. There
I'm
was
surprised
no,
they didn't FAQ that earlier.
It took them a while, but I think they got to it. But
Yeah,
it's
but I mean,
because
obviously
there
now
was
it's
no-
specifically.
It's because there were no rules in the game at all that says you could only use the stratagems
from your subfaction.
yeah, that you had the subclass for.
That.
Baffling, isn't it?
Yeah, because the
Baffling.
AdMech one specified the Forge World
No,
on the name
because you-
and in the rule.
yeah. Usually
Wow,
they
exactly.
affect
A unit
The-
on your
yeah.
army.
But
And
because the
didn't
Vect
use
one
it.
didn't
or
specifically
a supply
say.
from
Right.
to your army or to
Like-
it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Vect
Like-
one just isn't.
If it was like, when your general with this keyword is on the board, if it said something like that, it would be fine. But it didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
See,
Very
look,
weird.
at least that's not the case now. But obviously, the reason I'm taking that comparison is that okay, pretty much all of the Cabals had a very specific, like, you could build around them, and they were really good. Like, even the poison one was good. The one that allowed you to just reroll a wound roll per unit is fucking bonkers. And obviously, you get Vect. Like, there are 3. I think there's a 4th one. Can't fucking remember what it is. It's probably not worth it.
What do you mean you get Vect?
That's what you say when you play the stratagem. You get Vect with the D on the end. It's past tense.
Vect has never existed.
Exactly.
Vex is just back at home on his
He's
big
just
chair.
chilling. Yeah, he's just on his big chair. But like,
Conspiracy-
I'm hoping.
It's all a psyop by GW to make you think Vect existed at any point in history.
Yeah, he never existed. He's just a name.
GW
But, like-
have never published anything to do with Vect ever.
Yeah, but on the flip side, it's like, okay, when we look at the AdMech stuff, I need it to give me a reason to not just play Mars. Because Stygies was great, because of obviously the doctrine being outside of 12, I might as well hit just fly across the board. Okay. But there wasn't really
There's-
much, you didn't really get much of extra benefit from that.
Because Adbeck look good in white. There you go. That's the reason it makes it look like they've got lab coats on.
Yeah, and then Riser was only really good after Cataphrons went down because of the amount of plasma you could take on them. You know, and obviously making their plasma strength, like, you know, +1 to wound and then also +1 damage. So it was like stupid strength 3 plasma. And like, oh, sick, that was great. But like, that was it. There was no reason to take any of the other ones. And I'm hoping alongside this that the Metallica supplement makes way more sense. And I'm actually really cautious. Like, I don't know if I want to post the video or make a video on the Warzone book because the Metallica book, the Metallica part doesn't make sense right now. The House Raven stuff is cool. Like, I really like that, and the Freeblade stuff. Cult of Strife is bonkers for what you get. Like, 2 of those armies exist in 9th edition. The other 2 don't.
Yeah.
So, like, half the book doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I hate the book. I fucking hate that book so much.
I mean, it's okay. No,
Fucking
it's a
stupid.
good. It's an okay book, but I feel like it was released at the wrong time.
It is. Yeah.
Why didn't they? If they released, a hypothetical, if they released it after the Knights Codex and the Admech Codex came out,
It'd be fine.
yeah, it would have made way more sense. It would have been fine, absolutely fine. But they didn't do that because they're fucking cowards.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It just felt weird.
We go from there. But there's not much extra we can particularly add on. Oh, hang on. There was a Horus Heresy model. There he is.
But done.
Done.
He's got an eye. He's a heretic.
He's a man.
D&D related stuff. That's what I've got.
Yes. Let's have a talk about something else that isn't 40k for a bit. Let's talk about
Not
some
the
D&D
Ulrika,
things.
though.
Yeah, we talked about the Ulrika to
today.
death already.
Oh no,
sorry.
that was before the stream started.
Yeah, exactly. We've said a lot.
Well, I suppose we said yesterday, released this morning, a application dropped called Hailspire, which is supposed to be like a virtual tabletop thing. And oh my god, it looks so good. Very, very pretty.
Tailspire.
Yeah. So it's like your map maker, but you can also roll dice in it and whatnot, and you can set up cutscene like shots and scenic stuff with it as well.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's really nice. And it works like a modular Dwarven Forge thing, but there's so many fucking tiles and tools for it. It's really, really cool. And like you can use it online with people as well, and it just looks good. And I had like a few minutes to mess around with it. It was quite easy to use.
Yeah, so let me just
also
pulling it out just so we can quickly look at it on the web screen. This is it.
You can connect your D&D Beyond to it through a API.
Oh, beautiful! I love when people use the D&D API.
But like, it's just really pretty. And let me go a screenshot.
There was let's have a look at. It's actually 3D modeled. So I want to point out mainly because off of the back of that, I started. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
You'll like this. You can import 3D models into it.
Oh, I mean, you got to find 3D models. There, that's the problem.
Right, it's cool. You
mean tabletop sim?
Your Hero Forge character.
Oh shit! Fair point. Fair point.
Right in. If you buy the file for it.
That's actually that's a really good point, actually. Yeah.
This is a screenshot in the Discord for the game, but I guess I'll say the. I'm watching the person. I don't know why. Actually, should I? I'm not sure. I feel like I'm dropping a random person's name otherwise.
Just get the screenshot.
Yeah. For the game, and this is something some guy made, and it looked absolutely insane because that's all to scale on a grid.
Have you sent it?
Yes. That is a.
Oh my god!
Grid. Yeah.
Holy fuck!
You can ham with this thing, right? It's great. I can't wait to mess around with it. See what
I am going to be pissing about with this tomorrow.
Because like, sure, it's 20 quid, and that means.
Can you export?
Yes, you can export into maps, and you can download. You can
mainly because I play with people who don't buy things.
Oh right. So you can't export your maps, but you can share your screen, I guess. Basically.
Okay, no, I'd be okay with that because there's another tool. The reason I really like the idea of this is that there's another tool that's available called Map Tool, and I've only really discovered it because of only really recently started to watch.
Uses, right?
Yeah, I watched one episode of what Arcadum of his one of his newer campaigns, and I'm like, he has a really nice DMing style. And like his world building videos that he made of like how you build a world and how you build quests within the world. I'm like, I really wish I knew of that video before I did the world that I've been trying to make for ages.
I'm gonna have a look at that.
It's a really good way of thinking about everything.
Oh, I know what Map Tool.
Map Tool, it's ancient Java shit.
Wow.
But the whole thing is like
when I tried to use it forever.
But the thing is that you can, because like everything is just there. You can just obviously import everything, and it's on a 2D plane, and this, that, and the other, and like all the tools are self-contained. So if you do want to make modifications, you can. If you're relying on things like Roll20, you can obviously make the map modifications to an extent, but you have to pay quite a lot just to be able to make edits to things like character sheets and extra bonus things, or you're relying on D&D Beyond. Yes, there's a way to integrate those, but that means you're also shoehorning yourself into D&D Beyond. So if you want to do anything that's custom, like I actually wanted to do custom races in my campaign, because I had I really wanted to fuck with some extra shit, but I can't do that because
You can do
of
it with
D&D
Beyond
Beyond.
quite easy. You can do customizations of D&D Beyond very easily, though.
Oh, yeah.
Very easily.
I think
will
it
say
also
that
yeah.
is
What
it's good
didn't
for.
help as well is because I tried to run a campaign that was using 5th edition, but it was a whole like ancient Greece thing, and couldn't use D&D Beyond at all, and had to rely on trying to use Roll20. And my god, I hate trying to use Roll20's fucking character sheet API. It's garbage.
I like it.
I fucking
fine.
despise it.
You don't need API. You could just type words.
No.
It's just a PDF that you can click on.
No, it's so fucking like that character mancer thing is so fucking finicky.
Just don't use
that.
character mancer.
Just fill it in normally,
Oh.
just as though you would a
Yeah,
cheat.
yeah, yeah. Fill it in as you would a sheet,
Yeah.
and you can drag some of the spells over, and it will automatically do it for you.
Yeah.
That's how I use it.
Yeah.
like-
I like this idea of Tailspire,
It's
so
nice.
people can have a look. It is tailspire.com. It's also on Steam.
It's 20 quid. Like, and yeah, your players would have to buy it as well, which I guess is a wall. But when you're playing a game over a year or so, that's not really much money.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like, it's the same kind of thing of, like, you know, people get a Roll20 subscription for a while. It's the same. You equal out the cost pretty well. And it's also, it entirely depends on, it's a one-time purchase thing. It's in Steam, it's easy to find, and it's one of those things that it's a cost, but if it's a cost that's like, right, guys, look, I want to be straight with you. I want to run this campaign. I've built all of these maps. I've got all this access to stuff. I find this is really convenient for my GMing style. If you want to play, yes, it's a 20 quid fee, but we get to have this fun campaign, you know?
One of the things as well, again, is you can publish your maps on this. So that screenshot I sent, someone could make something that fancy, publish it, and then you could just use it in your game.
Oh, yes. Because the amount of people who steal shit from, what's it called? r/battle maps.
Oh, that's amazing, yeah. But, like, dude, I was like, look at that GIF alone. I just love that GIF alone. If you scroll up a little bit. The water one. Just, yes, hang on. Okay, whose sin is it? Oh, it's the Sahagan sin. Alright, let's go under the water real quick. With audio on, it muffles all the music and everything, and it sounds underwater. Because there's music built into this. You can set the atmosphere to be like, it's a harbor at dusk time, and there's battle music, and I want metal music.
What is this? Look at this cone!
Tool. Look at the measurement tools. It's very good.
I'm hard.
Yeah. So I'm gonna mess with this. I'm literally after the podcast. I'm gonna spend time messing with this.
I'm buying this. I don't give a fuck.
Like, dude, could you imagine? You know,
I spent too much money this month.
Could you imagine if that was a 3D map? That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. This is the best.
Is it just fantasy currently?
I think maybe I did hear there might be a cyberpunk pack, so it's not gonna just be.
Or I'm assuming because it's one of those things of.
I haven't looked through.
Because if a growing library of assets, current roster, our libraries are expanding, so they add extra stuff every month. Yeah. Fantastic. But my question is like, okay, if it's free, if you can import stuff, could you find, for example, a set of 3D terrain and import that?
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works.
It's something to investigate.
You can import miniatures.
That's fine.
That's all I know.
Patreon pages that are just like, here is a whole bunch of 3D printing monsters.
Well,
I mean, I follow a couple of those. So
there's a guy on Twitter who has every single monster you can in all of the D&D books and all of the Kobold Press D&D books, 3D printable.
You need to send me that man's Twitter like now.
Yeah, I'll do it now. Honestly, I think it's free. He's crazy.
That is
I'm very impressed by him. Yeah.
Yeah, I love shit like this because I want to say because we're on the topic of D&D stuff that I am one of those people currently that because of my ADD, it's very difficult for me to try and do proper world building because I can't narrow down too. I can't stop thinking about everything at once, and it fucking sucks because. It gets to a point where I'm running in mediocre sessions, and in my mind they're mediocre. The players are like, oh yeah, we had fun, we had a good time. In the back of my mind, it's like, I'm definitely not doing enough here. And I'm trying to write down everything. I'm like, oh, I'll try and make a map, and like, but where could they go? Oh, I don't know where they could go, but they could maybe do this. They probably won't do that. And then I start overthinking everything.
To be fair,
oh my god, it's... Ugh.
you don't have to prep a session sometimes. Like,
Mm.
players will do their own thing.
Right,
It's
right.
it's
You
it,
do
the thing is
need
that
to prep
I've
some.
yeah
You do need to prep some.
I
Like,
had
You have something for them to do, but a lot of
Yeah.
the time it's as long as they've got a direction more than
yeah it's trying to give them a direction that makes sense for what they're doing and for what the story is. At least they're at a point now, which is like, okay, I've got a pretty clear direction of it. Like there is two choices they can make of where they go next, and I actually have ways to force, like not necessarily force, but carry on the story depending on what they do, right? So that is fine in my head. But then it gets to the point where, like, I'm running these sessions once every 2 weeks, and I'm barely hitting that, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm just feeling fucking awful. I feel like I'm definitely not the person to try and run things like that. Second thing to that is, I'm just sick of fucking doing RPGs on Roll20 all the time. I'm fucking sick of it. I really am, and it's I just want to see a human being. I do, just because it's a much different atmosphere, and I can get way more into it. But when you're sitting there on your PC and you're just like, well, okay, someone else is having their moment. I'm just gonna watch YouTube for 20 minutes while this happens. Like, oh, it's my turn. Oh, sick. Like, it's the same problem with doing Warhammer on Tabletop Sim, you know, and then that's even clunkier. At least there's tools available for D&D stuff.
When it's a case of it's Warhammer and someone's taking like half an hour to move their pieces, it's a lot different than D&D when like half of playing D&D is everybody else at the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things of it's the burnout of the situation that everybody is in and just dealing with it. And it's gotten to the point where I'm not dealing with that specific part very well, because it's also just dealing with people. And like, especially like when I missed like this week's one, I saw a message from Evan being like, oh, can we have your character sheet? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening because I didn't see it. It was just sitting there like trying to deal with people in like potential several sessions on top of trying to work and balancing everything else is a fucking nightmare. At least if it was something in person, I get to leave the house and be away from it and focus on it for a while. It's such a struggle to do that, especially like while you're trying to build and run a campaign for other people who are also in the same situation. It's hard, and like on top of that and everything else, it's just very difficult to wrap my head around a lot of it. So I just end up, instead of running a session, just be like, just can't. Like, my brain's not working. Like, I just can't. I can't fathom this.
Yeah.
Which is why I envy you, because, like you and Alex especially, because you've been doing campaigns for, like, the entirety of lockdown.
I've been DMing only a few months.
Yeah, I've been running mine, well, as long as you've been in it, essentially. But I've been in a game.
Yeah.
Only one, though, since Valentine's Day last year.
Jesus
But
Christ, it was,
yeah. But that's just that's I think we've had, well, that's been like 50 something weeks, and we've had 14 sessions.
Fucking hell.
So it's not like a super consistent one.
No, but it's still.
No.
I was gonna say, are you getting to a point where either of you are feeling burnout for the way that things are currently are?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to specific things.
Do you mean with D&D, or do you mean with lockdown?
Like lockdown's not going away, and obviously burnout is just, that's what everyone else is complaining about. I mean specifically when it comes to trying to do things like D&D.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because the other, like, the option is you take a break, or you try a different game, but that's still the same problem. Because it's like, okay, it's still just a role-playing game online, trying to use all these fucking tools and go from there.
Yeah.
My problem, I guess.
I think
it's different for me.
This year, since like Christmas, I've been just like, yeah, I've been fucking loving D&D. Because I haven't been playing too much of it last year.
Yeah.
I haven't been painting anything really this year, apart from like a couple things.
I mean, I painted like, as I quickly go back to the main screen, I painted a man.
No, it looks good.
I'm really happy with him. Like that. The fact is like that's probably the maybe like first thing I've painted in like 2 months is one man.
That's fine though.
And I'm just looking, like, I'm really fucking proud of him, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
God
It's really-
damn, I've got so much other shit to paint.
Right, what have I done recently? I've done a couple of proms, and I finished my sister's.
Mm.
I painted everything that I had. I finished the tank, which
Wow.
was the main thing that I was looking at and going.
I need to do that, yeah.
And it was just sitting on the other side of the room, just like, okay, gotta do the tank. I had a couple of battle sisters that were needing to be painted, so I did those. You know, I painted this one.
That one's gorgeous, though.
Absolutely massive simulacrum with the cherub and all. I need to find a foam tray for my battle foam box that will hold those, because there's a lot of tall models in Sisters, like whether it's Adventure with an eviscerator held way above her head, and it's as tall as she is.
Honestly, just magnetizing bases for like carry cases, trust me, it's so much more efficient because you can make them real cheap.
Bridge magnet box.
Yeah, but you can't fit as many in there.
Yes, but if you make the cases yourself with like a sheet of metal in a fucking big Tupperware, not Tupperware, like just a box.
Like, look how tall that is.
I know, it's really like some of the Bone Reaper stuff is super tall, but I can fit all of the 2,000 points of Bone Reapers that I own in one case, and it's not even a big case.
But the Wartech Guard are like tiny.
Yes, but you've also got the Catapult, the Immortus Guard, Catacross himself, who's huge. All of the all of the wizards who are all holding something up above them. The Morghast.
Right. My point is, there's one of these in every squad.
You know, I get that, I do, and I'm just saying, like, there is. I feel that the foam, I think, is more of a risk.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, but you know, but that's a side thing. I guess you two are just built different. My brain don't work.
Yeah, no, I've got it. They're big enough that they fit proper. It's more of, if I've got the longer ones, it's for the Seraphim and any banner bearer I can put in there, because like there's a lot. I've got another 3 up there. That's people with whips, people with flying stands. It's I just need a tree with, and then
yeah, I get what you mean. But going back to the main point in terms of like burnout and things like that is, if you feel burnt out by something, especially now, how do you deal with that? Because I don't really have a coping mechanism. I'm not trying to steal one. It's just like how. Yeah, no, it's just like how do you guys deal with it?
I just change it. I've been burnt out by something. Then I shouldn't do it, right? As simple as, I think.
Yeah, don't try and do it, I think. Do something else. The
That's
way
valid.
I usually do it with, like, if I just, like, except I was trying to paint Stormcast. I did a lot of Stormcast, and I just, like, got so sick of them. Like, I said, a box over there. I'm gonna get back to them at some point, but when I get back to them, I'll get back to them. Like, I'm not gonna force myself to do it. Like, I'm building Nighthorn at the moment.
You can't brute force your way through burnout.
Yeah.
You can change what you're doing and maybe adjust it so it's a little different. Maybe reinvigorate some interest in it. Can't brute force your way through it. And it's usually better to change and try something else.
Because what I'm trying to do at the moment is, like, just as the example of the D&D one, I'm trying to find and not have the burnout for... One, playing has been helping. Because I never really got to play properly, and it was more like, if I was going to play, it was more of like a railroady... Like, here is a campaign, here are the beats, you're kind of going to those beats, especially.
That's not railroading.
Well, I mean, with one of the guys who runs it, and he specifically has told me, I kind of railroad. I'm like, yeah, that's fair, you know. But it was more just so he actually had something, because it was like it was playing from a campaign book, and he was like, it wasn't really on. No, there wasn't really an option to really do anything outside of the realms of that book, and it's like, no, you just kind of do the book.
A linear narrative is not railroading. That's a huge misconception people have.
No, I know, but what
Railroading.
I'm saying is that
Yeah, no, I know what you
he
mean. I know
was
what you mean, but, like,
railroady about it. I'm like, okay, well that's fair, but like when it's especially with George's one, it's nice because it's like I feels like I have options. I need to figure out a different way of playing Hisam in combat and try to think about other things, but I think I kind of shoehorn myself a little bit. But it's also not. It's the inexperience to understand that I have more decisions than I think I do, which I'm still trying to get over.
Yeah.
Cleric
Yes,
is the
yes.
most versatile class in the entire.
Exactly, and me monkey brain stupid, so me don't know
They're
that.
fucking stupid.
That's the thing. Is
But,
it's something to try and get over, and I'm hoping that
I love
that comes
clerics.
out more with just playing with the group because I am enjoying the group as well. When it comes to
I
like
think-
my own stuff, I think it's one of the situations like I feel like constantly I've rewritten so much stuff about my campaign setting like 5 or 6
Yeah,
times,
that's fine. That's like
and I'm like,
Question: Do you,
is it a bad idea or is it a good idea? Like,
you know the stuff you write for your campaign setting?
yeah,
Do you write that all yourself?
Yeah.
You sit by yourself when you write it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
to be honest, I kind of want to just ask someone, hey, do you want to help me with my campaign setting? Like,
If I'm going to write about the place one of my players is from, I will ask them for as much input as possible because the place is kind of for that character. It needs to work for that character. If it doesn't work for that character, the character won't fit into your world anymore.
There
It's
is
important to
okay.
do- and that's what
I did
helps
that
me
with
out
one of my
so
characters
much.
in order because he wanted to play a blood hunter. I'm like, okay,
It's always a blood hunter.
yeah, it
Always
is.
a blood hunter.
It is always a blood
takes
hunter,
so
but I'm
much
like,
effort to
okay,
play
okay, now let's have a
Yeah,
talk about this because then by talking with him, we have basically made that one of the nations who is basically like shogunate style elves who came from a different continent, and they won't say about where the place they came from. They just say it's fucking amazing, and we're here to colonize.
Yes.
But like they won't tell anyone where they came from. But they had got to a point of they had made basically they practiced like in like kind of the secrecy of hemomancy and then created warriors infused to become blood hunters because of the fact they wanted super soldiers. And we actually that was like a really good thing. I'm like, that
Cool.
is not leaving my setting because that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
the
So,
problem is
by
like
doing this-
everyone else I play with, unfortunately, that they're not there. They're not at that point. They're more just people who are like, oh, I want to play. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But like, yeah, when you do that player, those are then by far
Oh yeah,
the best places in your setting. Yeah.
yeah. I just want to try and add. I want to try and do more than that, but it's like, I've got an entire region that I've written bits about, but no character has ever been to, and no character has ever wanted to be from there. I'm like, okay. I mean, one of the guys was like, I want to be a frog. I'm like, you're a frog now.
You gotta say no sometimes, dude.
No, to be fair, no. I said it's like, okay, I specified to everyone, no stupid characters. And he's like, can I be a frog? I'm gonna punish you if you are though. He's like, yeah, that's fine. You can't speak common. He cannot speak. He's a frog. He's a frog man. He cannot speak common. He just
What is
a grung,
or
yeah, a grung.
Yeah, we do love the grung.
like
And
grung
he
vibe,
lived in a
yeah.
tribe in the middle of a radiated rainforest. He is a warlock. And he mugged a red cap for his hat during an encounter, which was funny. But he cannot speak
What's
common.
built into the creature?
No, he ripped it off. He killed it. Like they killed it, and he ripped it off. He's like, "That's mine now."
I'm pretty sure it makes you insane.
Well, he was already insane because he's a tribal frog person, but his main responses are blah. That's it. That's all he can speak. And I'm like, and like I kind of regret that now. I'm like, I told you.
It's like playing a Kenku, but
Shit.
yeah.
Oh, I did have a pretty shit Kenku as well. I mean, to be fair, he was a
Kenku's
person who wanted to be involved, but also didn't want to be involved. So everywhere he went, he just shat himself like a bird. I'm like, cool. It's
Yeah, that's annoying when people like that.
it's like that, but it's a situation where it's the people that you're playing with, and they are like honestly they are interested in it, but they're not deep enough to be like, I'm actually going to write proper backstory. You know what I mean? So it's trying to build a world around that. I'm like, oh, these would be cool. No one's probably ever going to see it though.
Or it's when it's like I've wrote setting stuff, and they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna do nothing until combat happens. Like, cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, I was like, cool, thanks, bro.
Go play Divinity 2, or XCOM or something, like a video game, since that's clearly what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I spiced things up by adding the what's it called, the lightning elementals. I did that in an encounter because I thought that when I read through those, like, that would be a perfect thing to come out of the fucking of the wasteland, because it is just wild magic fucking with everything. So those are a great byproduct of that. I'm like, right, we'll put it on a ship encounter, and it was actually a really cool encounter. I'm like, right, I want to do more of that. It's the whole getting to that point. And I'm looking at the time, and we've kind of run over a lot.
We've kind of gone a bit ham.
Yeah, there's so much D&D talk. There's so much D&D talk.
Time.
Yeah, true. We don't talk about the 13th episode.
Yeah. Rat episode.
Yeah, we'll
rats.
The
rat bit through the
episode.
wires.
Fuck up number 26 as well, and then we'll make a habit of it.
I mean, to be fair, it took 13 episodes for us to really fuck up. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good track record. Yeah. Apologies. The end bit was just me bitching about my insecurities when it comes to writing D&D campaigns, but it's just dealing with burnout, really. Yeah.
Trying something else is good.
I really want to play the Fallout game. I really like the Fallout game. It looks really good. Or at least I want to play. Actually, I've got
a part where some people be like, "Oh yeah, that looks really good," and I'm just.
I've read the rules. They're solid. They're solid rules.
I don't care about the rules. I don't want to play the Fallout world, man.
Well, I've got I've got one here called Urban Shadow. I buy RPG rule books for fun to read. I got this one, which is Urban Shadows, which is based on the Apocalypse engine, but it's just about being weirdos, vampires, and witches in a urban setting, kind of like Vampire, but more diverse. And I really like it.
I just think you'd be like a housing estate.
Yeah, it's just a housing estate, but it's things like, you've got wizards, you've got fae, you've got vampires and werewolves and shit like that. But it's a more digestible version of the World of Darkness. Like, oh, that's cool. Legends of the Five Rings, I own that. Never gonna fucking play it, but it looks really cool.
I thought that was a tabletop game.
It is. It's a franchise.
Like a miniatures one.
No, it's a card game. It was a card game, and it was one of the only card games where the story would advance based on who won a tournament. Because they get...
so cool.
Yeah, whoever won the tournament, like when they did proper tournaments for everything, the winner with their deck would work with the writers to craft the story from their deck about how they won a thing, and it would advance the plot. So when the new set comes out, it was directly affected. But that disappeared for a while because it got too convoluted. And then Fantasy Flight brought it back, and then they brought a new edition of the role-playing game with it too.
That's so cool.
I've got Forbidden Lands, written by the guys who did Free League Publishing, because they also did the Alien RPG, which I also own. I just want to do something. I just want to do something different and not have to fucking run it. You know what I mean?
I love the in the front of the book for the Alien RPG, there is like a disclaimer essentially.
Yeah.
And it goes along the lines of, you are not playing yourself playing a character, if that makes sense. You are playing a character in a film, right? You're playing a trope.
Yeah.
Make mistakes on purpose, cause problems.
I love that. I love that idea.
There's a one-shot mode called cinematic mode in Alien, and it's why it's fucking banging. And one of you is actually secretly an android, maybe.
Yeah.
Wants to kill other people, and everyone has a secret. And everyone has secret agendas, and stress is a mechanic where the more stressed you are, the better you succeed, but the harder you fail.
I'd love to play that. I would love to play that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think a lot of it is just one of those things of trying to deal with burnout and exhaustion, and we're all exhausted. We're all at a point where it's like that.
Just don't smash your head against the same wall constantly. Try a different wall for a bit.
And in reality, I guess the best advice for anyone else who's watching this who may suffer the same kind of thing, if it's something that you're that with burnout that is directly involving other people, for example, you're in a campaign, you're running a campaign, you're running a hobby podcast with friends, and just say I just need a week. I just need some time away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're most likely, if they say no, you can't do that, you don't really want to be friends with that person. Yeah, fuck them, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm very privileged to be like with these two guys that they were able to take over with John. And when I said I just need a time away from D&D
Able to take
session,
over
they were
is a
able-
stretch.
okay, you made an attempt, and I'm proud of you. Okay.
Willing to.
It'll
Yeah,
happen again.
but you
I
were
fixed
willing
it,
to,
like,
yeah. But like,
yeah.
and also to be like, look, George, I just need a week from the campaign. Like, I just need some time. And it's like, yeah, no, absolutely fine. We work around that. It's like being able to do that is just great. So
Also, you
take
didn't-
some
you didn't
fucking
miss anything
time.
Anyway.
That's
Actually
fair.
didn't rip anything.
I was gonna say, during that time, by the way, Hassam will be sleeping in his carriage because he paid a lot of
That's
money
what I
for it.
That's what I said. I said
Yeah.
he's got a carriage. He's gonna sleep in it.
Yeah, there's multiple beds in that thing. I got all the fancy up. There's a mini fridge.
It is.
Wagons are good.
Yeah. Right. Well, we're gonna start wrapping it up there. So, couple of extra bits at the end. Apologies if this is a slightly longer episode, but fuck it, content. I don't care. So, Drukari video is coming in the next, hopefully the next week. Editor John is currently busy with things over the weekend, so things may be delayed on that front. But in reality, just keep your eyes out for it. We'll be posting it on socials. Apart from that as well, we will be filming and hopefully releasing another video next week with the Honest Wargamer. So big thanks to those guys for helping us out, and that's going to be a really fun. That's going to be a really fun recording a session. I'm really looking forward to that.
Is it what's his face? It's one of them, right?
It's Tom Layton.
Tom,
So it's the vice captain of Team Wales and a regular contributor. So
Say Snake
yeah,
or something on Twitter, right?
yeah. So that's going to be happening on Saturday. So that's going to be fun. Same with Techless and the Lumineth book. They are coming. Things just take time. It's difficult to balance everything, but it will come out. So don't you worry. Apart from that, check out all our socials, !socials if you're watching this on Twitch. But basically, it's just our Twitter and Instagrams. You can find them all in the description below and on links. Follow the podcast on Spotify.
Yeah.
Just Off the Shelf Hobby Podcast. You can find us on there and also on Anchor for any other podcast platforms that you may be interested in. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. We love you all.